way than through my headphones or the speakers. I don't know what the hell happened there,
Oh,
but
but you
I'm.
hear us, yes?
I heard you, and I hear you now, but I hear you now
Okay.
through my headphones, with my
Oh,
earbud.
you have headphones now? Oh,
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
we
uh,
couldn't see the wire on your pretty black shirt.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
I'm feeling just a smidge Antifa today.
And hey, everyone.
Hello.
What was that accent?
Hello.
Hello. So yeah, I asked Mehmet if he wanted to come, but
Mehmet.
I think he has a gaming thing, if I understood correctly.
Oh,
And
that's what the PO the
yeah, I think
something of
so.
exiles, something of exiles.
Path of Exiles.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, yeah, probably.
Hello.
It's Merlin.
Hey, cat, green
How's he feeling?
eyes.
He's feeling good.
Good, good, good,
Oh,
good, good.
great. And
Yeah,
he's
he's
got.
been eating like a pig all week.
I was
Yay.
going to say he has green eyes, and I have green eyes, so we have two things in common.
He has very green eyes, yes. Well, that was the the light of the camera that made his eyes glow. But yes, he has green eyes.
Oh, well, mine glow all the time, so I think it's probably the radiation.
No, I think it's because you're possessed by a demon.
Well, a radiation demon. It's sort of a scientific demon. It
Oh
was.
shit! Sorry.
Oh no.
I'm trying to have a good angle on the cat.
The
I
beauty that is
think
Merlin.
that's good.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm so glad to hear that Merlin is doing uh, wonderfully at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I
he's eating very. I have to inject him every day with the anti-puking meds, and he's not super happy about that. But you know,
screw
he
it.
eats, and he's not going to live longer. I have no illusions
Illusions.
about that. But
Sorry.
he's going to feel good in the meantime. He's going to enjoy his food and my lap, apparently,
Hmm.
because that's where he spends most of his time.
Well,
And
that's
I'll be right
wonderful.
back,
That's
rescuing stuff
wonderful.
from the cat.
that week was very mean to my friends' pets. I have 3 friends that lost a pet this week.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
And
One
Merlin
of
one
them
too.
is Johanna, by the way.
Did she lose another one last week?
Yeah, one of the kittens she
One of the.
adopted had
Oh
to be put
no.
down because you had they were shelter rescues, so sometimes you end up with one that is sick, and that was
It,
the case for Omen, the red one.
okay, so she adopted a litter, right?
Yeah,
Or litter mates anyway.
yeah, 2 brothers.
Okay. Oh, geez,
So
I didn't
yeah,
know that. I'm sorry. I have to say something nice to her.
yeah, that's sad. And Cornelis and Swanje that were there to talk about the stuff in Germany. They lost a
Mm-hmm.
bunny this
Mm.
week.
Oh, geez.
She was 13 years old, so it was a bunny who lived to be very old.
A bunny or a rabbit?
Isn't that the same thing?
Bunny rabbit.
No. I think a
Yes.
bunny is a kind of rabbit.
No, bunny is another
It's
word for rabbit.
it's not the kind of bunnies or rabbits that are in farms. It's the cute kind of rabbits. So I guess they're bunnies. Oh, Mela is fucking off to
Mm.
eat. So now you have a view on of my
Crotch?
blanket on my lap. No, that's not my crotch. That's a blanket.
Well,
Bun,
this is a
actually-
G-rated show after all.
And
Bunny just
I'm
means
a
rabbit.
little ashamed because there's Joanne, my friend Joanne, lost one of her pet gerbils
Oh
this
no.
week. So yeah, I feel very blessed that Mela is still with me, because when I got to the vet on Tuesday, I was really expecting
Yeah.
to come back alone. So he's eating his tuna right now. So
Tuna. You
Good,
mean
good,
you
good.
didn't cook him up some chicken again?
no, I did yesterday, but is
I know. You said he yelled at you. You yelled at
no,
the
he yelled
oven.
at the fucking oven, but he doesn't want to eat it. I think he's fed up with chicken. He's been eating that since Tuesday, so he needs a little variety in what he eats. So
You
tuna
should-
is good.
You can send that to Rory Katz. Apparently, he never gets tired of Z chicken.
Yeah, most cats don't need variety in their. They're mostly food obsessed motherfuckers. So it's the
It's change that normally upsets them.
Yeah, it's change that normally upsets them, exactly. So it's both a blessing and a pain in the butt, because apparently it's because of that variety that Mela got to live so old, according to the vet. Because let's be honest, long-haired cats like that, they don't live very old usually, because their stomach and kidneys can't take the hair. When they groom, they eat a lot of hair. So usually they mostly have maybe 15 years old life expectancy, compared to short-haired cats who have a 20 years old life expectancy.
Because of all those hairballs, you think?
Yeah. According to the vet, yeah. I don't know where he is. It's just when I put the camera on my lap, he's decided to fuck off. Of course.
He's a
Well,
cat. That's how they do.
Nah, he's going to come back. So I'll keep the camera on
He'll
my
wait
lap.
until you turn the camera off, and then he'll hop back up in your lap.
Yeah, anyways, that's a good blanket. So
You know, it's just a couple of clicks in Zoom to turn your camera off.
yeah, I know, but I'm not doing it. So, how have you been?
Oh, the semester's
What's,
finally over. I got all my grading done.
Yay! Is it? Do you have a break over Christmas?
I have a couple of weeks of
nice.
sleeping my ass off.
Well, obviously today even.
You can't make me feel bad.
That's my job, John.
Yeah, without Jonathan's following, there's not a lot of reach to my tweets and my post on Facebook, but
Yeah, because you refuse to post in places with liberals, so that makes it hard.
if he's your Grebo, no, it's cut off. It is not Grebo.
No, Grebo is murderous.
And his back is meowing at me. He's
Pick me
on
up,
the
mama.
chair just next to me.
Pick me up, mama. I don't want to jump up there. Don't make me jump.
He doesn't have to jump. He's literally on a chair next to me.
Wait, sorry, he's French. Pick me up, mama. Je ne veux pas.
No,
Je
don't try. No, don't try.
Je ne veux pas sauter. Lève-moi, mama. Lève-moi.
So yeah, still the general strike is still going on in France,
Yay.
And I learned this week actually that at the beginning the cops had joined the cops union,
Mhm.
but they got theirs, so of course they stopped striking.
Of course.
Yeah, the ministry of
Because the
the
government can't
Interior,
use the cops to break up the strikes if
which
the cops are on
is-
strike.
which is the ministry of cops, basically. Mais viens! And they, because the protest and striking is over the retirement pensions. They are
What
doing an
retirement pensions?
overhaul.
Haven't they taken those away yet?
No, but it's the I don't know, the reform they're doing on that are bad, really bad. I mean, and apparently cops managed to have a different pension plan.
Imagine my shock.
Yeah, I know, right? If people still don't know why ACAB and why they're class traitors, that's why. I mean, we're in France, which means even cops have unions,
Mhm.
Mhm.
But
Well, cops have
yeah,
unions here in the U.S. They're pretty much the only one the right hasn't attacked.
Yeah.
they're still scabs, though.
Mhm.
Well, but the thing is, the unions here, the cop unions here, tend to protect the bad cops.
Mhm. That's why the
and-
right loves them.
Right, and they don't protect the whistleblowers or the cops that are on the side of the people. So,
Duh.
Mhm.
and
Isn't
they're
there a permanent general strike in France? No, David.
Sometimes
know
they
I-
take a break from striking and do some work.
I know I joke a lot about that, but it's bad. It's pretty bad, which is why everyone is on that. I mean, there are hospitals that ask people to provide a temporary shelter for their staff because of the transport strikes, and they're not pissed at the transport staff, they're pissed at the government because they are the ones who made the strikes necessary. So that's good. There's a pretty good working class solidarity right now, apart from cops, of course. So yeah, but we strike, smoke, and dump potatoes in the street. It's less.
Potatoes?
Yeah, when farmers are not happy, they dump some of their harvest in the streets.
Okay.
okay. Yeah.
Well, mostly now they drop manure, but because
I can understand dropping potatoes. It would make the streets incredibly unsafe to drive on.
they got rightfully called out for wasting food.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. In Wisconsin, well, actually, dairy farming states in the U.S. I don't know if it's that way so much anymore, but farmers used to dump milk as protest of milk support at milk prices, and so that's that may be an analog to the potato dumping. We actually have. There used to be a lot of power in farmers organizations, and now it's moving more and more to corporate farming. So there's a lot less. Well, there's power, but it's in the hands of the large farmers and large corporate farmers.
Yeah, it's the same thing in France. The little farmers are just, I don't know, they're just fucked over, and the big corporations get all the passes, and yeah, that's how it is.
Why don't we have any more British friends? If I can
We
get a
have a
mic,
lot.
Mithril.
Well, I have a lot actually, but no one responded to me. I can get Joanne in private, but I don't know if she will be feeling up to it regarding she lost a pet this week, and she's pretty much devastated by the results of the elections.
Oh yeah.
I could ask Kevin to come, but you know how he is.
He might swear.
He would just talk about penises and stuff.
Yeah, he's going to steal our spotlight. I can ask him though, seriously. Do you want me to ask him?
He could, but I think he predicted that Labour would win the election. What's his opinion worth?
Everyone thought that Labour would win the elections.
Really?
Well, they kind of did, because the Conservatives got 43% of the vote.
Yeah, by numbers they did, but I don't understand the English system, so
I don't know why people say that Europeans are shocked at our gerrymandering, when clearly y'all are gerrymandered to fuck too. Because the Conservatives got 43% of the vote, and that gave them a majority of the seats.
yeah, I don't know how that works actually. That's why I was hoping to have someone from Britain to come, and that's why I took it upon myself to ask on Facebook, because I have a lot of friends in Britain actually. But I don't know if what the fuck is going on with those algorithms. Sometimes everyone sees my posts, and sometimes no one does. So
maybe Mithril, although they don't have microphone,
have a mic. Yeah.
Maybe they can do some.
Marty, are you still here? Oh yeah, want to come, Marty, to talk about it?
Marty's also a limey. Correct. Well, I shouldn't say limey.
He's a
sheep talker.
She's a Wisconsin girl.
Yeah, but she's in
Britain.
She's been living in Britain for a while now.
Cheese eater living in
Britain. Yeah. Well, Britain has cheese too.
Oh, come on.
They have cheddar. That's
yeah.
it.
Well, they have actually the city of cheddar.
Kevin,
they started that fucking thing.
I will message Joanne too.
Oh, you're going to miscegenate Joanne? That's weird.
What?
Sorry, it's just the way you said message.
Oh, sorry. Are you making fun of my fucking accent?
Oui.
Because that's weak.
Well, it's John. He does what he can.
I mean, even for you. I thought we were past that, babe.
No, never.
We'll never be past that.
Nope.
I've made efforts, so.
Okay. And yet you keep on misandering me. You misandering my beard, you misandering my guitar. You just.
Duh. Not your guitar, you're singing. Your guitar is fine.
I missed Shives's 50th Ask Away yesterday.
Yeah, me too. I was sleeping.
Yeah. Well, it was still the YouTube strike, so.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't watched it. The strike is over. Well, obviously, it better be over today, or we're all a bunch of fucking scabs.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to check
out.
Yeah,
that was not a strike. Honestly, no one did that walkout.
I did
Yeah, well,
because I'm a good person.
I found myself,
no big YouTuber did. I mean,
I found myself just sort of automatically watching some YouTube videos and then catching myself and going, oh wait, gotta back
yeah,
off.
same.
And then I would listen to, I like listening to some podcasts, and some of the podcasts turn out to actually be on some of the podcasts I listen to actually turn out to be on YouTube, and I found myself listening to them on a podcast player, and then when I would slip into the slip and watch a YouTube video, the recommendations would come up for this podcast, and I would watch it there, and I'd catch myself go, "Oh fuck, this is not going well." So it's I hadn't heard of anybody that was of any of the big ones. I don't pay attention, but I hadn't heard any of the big ones jumping on board. And I guess if that doesn't happen, that's not going to be a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, on the 10th, I had completely forgot that there was that strike because all my usual channels that I am subscribed to made videos on that day.
Mm-hmm.
Also, there Hot Ones interviewed John Boyega, so I kind of lost my shit over that. I like that show because the interviewer is really good.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw John Boyega and Merlin fucked off again. Oh, that's because Fabrice is in the kitchen
Opening a
making
can
food
of something
for
random.
himself. So it's just pizza. So yeah. That being said, the channels I follow are mostly people who play Sims and stuff like that. So I'm pretty sure that they're not politically aware enough to even know there was a YouTube walkout.
Mm-hmm.
Also, they have like 1 million subscribers and stuff like that. So I don't think they're worried about the new terms of service, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying that YouTube creators need a strong union.
Yes. But everyone needs even not strong, just one. Everyone should unionize. I don't know. It's a default in my country, so I will never get how difficult it is to convince people to unionize in the US.
Well, you have to understand that unions are bad. They do bad things. They kick puppies. And something mafia, something government is bad.
Yeah.
Government is bad, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
Jimmy
funny
Hoffa
how
was
we
some
can
boss, and
we can agree on that, but not on the rest.
Yeah.
Well, because they're lying. They don't think government is bad. They like government.
Yeah, I know. They just don't like leftist governments, I guess. I have a mosquito. What the fuck? We're in December. I just heard a mosquito.
Oh no.
It's actually probably a government robot spy. It's a drone.
No, it's a motherfucking mosquito.
They can make robots that small, you know.
I'd rather it be a robot because it's not going to eat me. Ça y est, tu reviens, toi? Is back. Well, his routine is back. He's going to meow at me and finally decide to come by himself, because as old as he is, he doesn't have arthritis. He can walk, he can jump.
Cool.
He feels very good on that front, so
That's good.
he doesn't fucking need me to carry him, okay?
But he wants you to.
You lazy bum.
No, ça va pas ça. Something.
I have to encourage him by tapping to show him he can come, because when I am eating at my computer, I
Tell him to fuck off.
I tell him to
How do you say fuck off in French?
Fuck, dégage. Casse-toi.
No, that means shut up.
No.
No?
No.
What'd you say? I thought you said tais-toi.
Casse-toi.
Casse-toi. Oh. Break yourself?
Yeah. It's slang. It's se casser, so to break oneself. It just means fucking off. He's just watching me.
Well, he's a cat. That's what they do.
Oh, okay. It's coming. Oh, kitty butt.
Okay, I'm curious, Skag. The largest umbrella trade union in Sweden, showing that they sympathize more with the Sweden Democrats than the Social Democrats. Okay, I don't know the difference between the Sweden Democrats and the Social Democrats, but you have more than one umbrella trade union?
They make a lot of umbrellas.
It's Europe.
Let's see, if I remember correctly, the Sweden Democrats are the fascists. Is that right, David?
What? No.
Yes. Well, let's see. I hope David is paying attention and tells us.
It's a national conservative populist political party founded in 1988. Sounds pretty fashy just from that description.
Really?
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And the Sweden Democrats, not the Social Democrats.
Sweden Democrats.
The party has its roots in Swedish fascism.
Democrats.
Well, how dare the Nazis call themselves socialist? I mean, it's how the fascists do. They lie.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, today the Sweden Democrats officially reject both fascism and Nazism.
Well, at least they make the effort. I mean, the Front National doesn't. So the Trump doesn't. I mean, at this point, I wonder who is on the left of Trump. That's yeah. I can't think of a party that's more right than the GOP is now. I think you've reached, yeah, but they don't officially exist anymore. You know what I mean? As a party, I mean. Well, I know it's legal in the US you have a Nazi party in the US, don't you?
Yeah.
Well, they're basically an extreme branch of the Republican Party. They keep on running as Republicans for some reason. It's weird.
They're branding themselves Nazis proudly. That's what I mean. In Europe, you don't have that. No one wants to be associated with Nazis, even if they have...
What about Marine Le Pen? Or her dad, anyway.
No, he didn't want to be associated with Nazis. Even him, who was a fucking torturer in the war of Algeria, even him knew that PR-wise, Nazis are bad. And you have to say they are bad. Trump... It seems to be the only man alive who doesn't know that you are supposed to say the Nazis are bad.
Well, he eventually got that message.
Well,
after he said that the Nazis were okay, he walked that back, and then he walked that back.
Yeah.
Well, he has. Who is it that said he has no fixed values other than self-interest and
everyone?
Well, self-interest
and rape.
Self-interest and racism.
Yeah.
Those two things are are the things that are his, his fixed points. He will,
Yeah,
you
David,
can
same with the
everything.
Front National in France. Sorry, Tom.
No,
Go ahead.
The Front
Go ahead.
National.
I was rambling about something about Trump, and that's
That his
discussing
only
the whole
fixed
effort.
points are self-interest and racism.
Yeah,
But I think
I
his
agree, but
there's
PR is a part of self-interest. You know what I mean?
that's
yeah,
why
but
I don't think it's self-interest. I think it's narcissism. He only values himself, and he values everything else insofar as it reflects himself. So
yeah.
he's white, therefore he's racist. He's a man, therefore he's misogynist. He's straight, therefore he's homophobic, etc. I don't think he's ever put any thought into anything. He just hates everything that's not him, and hates it more the
and
less it's
I'm
like him.
not sure is able to put thoughts in
Yeah,
things.
somebody that I'm friends with on Facebook sends me a lot of political stuff, news articles and things like that. Mostly about Sasha. Yeah, it's mostly about Stinky.
It's mostly about Sasha, yeah.
Yeah, and one of the things about Sasha was that when Sasha went to Wharton, Sasha did very, very poorly, and yet is now claiming to be, to have graduated first in Sasha's class
Who are
from
you
Wharton.
Trump.
talking to? Okay.
They're both orange, therefore.
Yeah,
Yeah, but Sasha is gorgeous.
Yes.
yeah. Well, Trump thinks so. Thinks he is or was.
He's not. He
Yeah,
never was. Even when
Mm.
he was young, he wasn't.
Well,
Nope.
I don't know. He was kind of handsome in a predatory way.
In an incredibly
I-
mediocre kind of way.
Maybe
Well-
it's not to my taste. Let's say.
Well, I would. Back in the day, I probably would have hit the sack with him. I don't know. I said too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. There was actually he's claimed to have graduated first in his class from Wharton, and and people have gone back to his graduating year at Wharton, and
Hi, Phoenix.
and went through the
Phoenix.
list of the top summa cum laude, magna cum laude, valedictorian, salutatorian, all that kind of stuff. Went through that whole list, and he's nowhere to be found. And he in his records, he will not release his records, even though he demanded to see Obama's college
Shocking.
records. Yeah. And people who remember from that time remember him almost universally as kind of a cipher, just nothing. So he's had a lifetime of getting by on his dad's money and bluster, and
And the fact that when you're rich, you can get away with crimes.
and it's gotten him this far, and now he's got probably a third of the country convinced that he hasn't committed any kind of impeachable offenses, and that if he's impeached,
No, they don't. They know he's committed impeachable offenses. They just don't care and refuse to impeach him.
well, you're talking about people who pay attention to what's going on. The people who I'm talking about are his voting base. Who
No, that's what I'm saying.
pay attention to him.
They don't care whether he's committed crimes or not.
Well,
They know he's on
heard-
their side, or they're on his side, and therefore
Yeah,
they're going to support him no matter what.
but they are law abiding in their minds, so they think he is. I think.
No, no. Sorry. Trump law abiding is pretty funny.
Oh yeah, yeah.
When you're rich, they let you get away with it.
Oh, by the way, hi Phoenix. I don't know if I said hi when you first got here.
Yep. So I
$5
don't.
grand for Trump picks. I can.
It depends on. I mean, if they're.
from the newspaper. Well,
I mean, are we talking
If I can find
PP
a
tape style
newspaper.
picks or?
that would be great.
I forgot why Jonathan isn't here today. What did he have? Or
I don't recall. I didn't know he wasn't going to be here.
yeah, he told us last week that he had some maybe union thing. I don't remember.
Yeah. Right
Yes,
on, Marty.
unionize for
Yeah.
fuck's sake. But not just YouTubers. I mean, Americans at large. Fucking unionize.
Mm-hmm. Would if I could, but you can't unionize by yourself.
Well, you could join the Wobblies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only good choice you have in the US now. If you're a leftist, I mean.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not sure. I should look into it more to see if there's anything effective going on with them. But
Oh,
as
they're
far as
good. They're good.
oh, I know
But are
they're good. They're good folks and they have good ideas. I'm just not sure if they're effective at
What is their
doing,
praxis?
if they're doing anything that
Oh,
is going to
they're
make a
not
big difference.
anarchists, if that's what you're asking, John.
Well, I'm just saying, what do they actually do? Do they negotiate for people? Do they actually? Can they
Yeah, I
actually fight?
think.
I mean,
I
Yeah,
mean, there's shady stuff inside the organization. There was some Me Too moments, but you don't have a choice. Like in France, we have like 3 straight up anarchist unions, you know. But in the US, you have the Wobblies. That's all you've got. So go for it, Americans. Go be a Wobbly. I don't have $5,000 for your tits, Phoenix. I'm sorry.
Maybe she gives a discount to comrades. You know, $4,000 per tit.
I am not that interested in
$10,000 for
either.
3.
For 3. That's some Total Recall stuff.
wonder what I get for quarter for 2,500. Little over the shirt action.
So yeah, talking about money, I'm going to set up a GoFundMe to pay for Merlin vet's expenses because I'm in the shit.
Yeah.
Like, really?
Well, as soon as you get that set up, then you give us
So-
all the links.
Yeah,
Ooh, hey,
we'll
stop.
post it there because for once, I need help.
Well, that should be why people are here.
Well, Merlin needs help. Look at how gorgeous he is. Look at him.
That's why he deserves help, not why he needs help.
Oh, he's eating your finger. Look at this vicious predator. How cute he is.
Makes it hard to talk.
Yeah, Phoenix, I know you're in the shit too, but if you want to talk numbers, I have just put a check of 800 euros in the bank. I was 400 something overdraft, and I owe I don't know 300 something to my partner for the vet, and the 800 is supposed to last me until March.
Oh boy.
So
But you live in Europe. That's communist. They pay all your bills for everything there.
I don't have any money until March left. So basically, right now, once everything I owe is paid, because I have to pay for the physiotherapy. Well, it will be reimbursed, but I have to advance the cost. Anyways, I'm going to be left with maybe $150 to last 3 months. So that I need help with that fucking vet cost because I can handle the rest, but I can't with the
Yeah.
vet. Also, I need to pay for the injections, and it's not that expensive because the vet is nice and she's making me a price, but I still have to pay for it. So, anyways, I will need help too. That's another GoFundMe we'll have to add to the.
No, please don't take it out there. The dog will eat that. And now I know how he's getting those balls out of my room through the cat door. He can pick them up in his mouth.
Anyways, look at how Merlin is pretty. And he's hitting and he's doing well. Like yesterday, I caught him trying to eat what was in the trash. So that's very good sign.
It's interesting that there's something that you would normally yell at a pet for is now or a friend.
Oh,
for,
I
rather.
yelled at him, but it pleased me anyways.
But I mean, normally it would be an irritation. Now it's it's pleasing.
Well,
what
that
a
means
cutie.
is doing good. So
Gorgeous cat.
yeah,
Yes.
my old chap. He's 4 months before he's 18. I really hope he's going to live to be 18. I don't think so, but we'll see. That's an old cat.
Mhm.
And there's a chart at the vet. And so actually, Merlin is older than Tom.
Oh,
He's 84 in human years. He will be
Ooh.
88 in April.
oh boy.
So technically he's probably somewhere around 86, 87 right now.
Yeah. So
So
he's older than you.
when he goes away, does he have to meow old? Oh,
What? Sorry?
Does he meow old? Not
old.
in France that would be
no.
âgé. And I don't think a cat could make the G sound.
Well,
He
I don't
can
make I can't make the whatever you said sound either. So he can say it.
You can't make a je.
can. You can make a je.
Âgé.
I know you.
Nope,
I
can't
know
do it.
you're more used to say je, but the sound je exists in English, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Je t'aime beaucoup.
Yeah.
Je ne
See?
sais pas. Je
Agincourt.
Agincourt. New York Jets.
Yeah. By thinking, I realize it's not a sound that actually exists in your language, is it? It's only foreign words that use that sound. You only use it with a je. You only use je, never je.
I have to think about that.
I know Jonathan from Queer Eye says a word that's judge, but I'm pretty sure it's a word that doesn't exist, actually.
Nope.
And
Pashmina.
David is saying Hergé. Hergé is the author of Tintin, the racist Belgian comic.
It's got a Sikh in it, right? Guy with the turban. Can't be racist. It has a black person.
No.
Wait, what's that? The Tauntaun?
Tintin.
Yeah.
Tintin. Oh, okay.
What you call Tintin, yes.
All right. I hear funny things. Okay. That's too bad.
That's because I said it with the French accent. It's
Yeah,
Tintin.
you said it
So
like
it's your fault. Okay,
the smelly creature from Star Wars, the Hoth thing.
Oh, the Tonton.
Oh, the one that gets cut open for
Mhm.
I
walks in the
so
winter.
want a
Tintin.
Tonton.
Tintin.
They're so cute.
Yeah, and useful in the very cold weather.
I don't want to think about that. They're cute. I want one.
Okay.
They run around and they say rabbit, rabbit. I'm sorry, that's so cute. And yes, Tintin is very racist. Well, it's a product of its time, but it's racist.
Hmm.
I've not ever seen anything. I haven't read any of it, but I have heard of it, and it's kind of too bad because it looks like it would be something that would be interesting. If
Now,
I mean, it looks the style looks like what Henry, the cartoon Henry in the States.
I don't know that one.
Nor I.
Oh, okay, Henry is a mute character who
Oh,
runs around doing stuff, and other people react to him, and he reacts to things, but he is mute, kind of a bald-headed uh, young kid.
Kind of similar. Fairly simplistic drawing style.
the thing is, Tintin is from a period when Belgium still had African colonies, and it shows. Like there's an album that's Tintin in Congo.
That's one of the ones that they
Oh my
note specifically on.
That's just straight up awful, even for its time. I mean, oh god, yes, it's so white it glows in the dark. I mean, it's
Mhm.
no. Even when I was a kid, and I'm talking a small kid, and I had no idea of concept of what being woke meant. Oh my god, she's so cute. That album made me uneasy. You know, I don't know when you can I don't find a word I want to use.
You can
Just
spot, notice.
No, when you can intuitively spot racism before knowing what it is, that's bad.
Yeah. Well, I grew up, of course, in the '50s, and we had the cartoons I watched were mostly from the '40s and '50s, some even earlier, and they were really badly, really racist, and it's just it's what I grew up with. It was in the air, and looking back, it's horrific. But at the time, I grew up in lily white Western Wisconsin, rural Western Wisconsin. Nobody around but us white people, and it just,
And Native Americans.
No, not
No?
around here. No, not where I am. There are a lot of Native Americans about 100 miles north of here. 80 to 100 miles north of here are a couple of reservations north and east of here, but not here. So the only folks that we had were not white were people that from the university. We have a university that's that teaches. Well, it teaches things. It teaches like line managers and of factories and things like that, or at least at that time, it was focused on that kind of stuff. It was focused on teaching
Petty bourgeoisie.
Well, no, it's teaching people how to run mid-level management, just under management in factories. It would be how to do the stuff that the actual workers did, only how to organize it and make it run well, and use the most recent technology, things like that. So we had a lot of people from developing countries that would come here, and I belonged to the Episcopal Church, at that time, which is Anglican, and a lot of people from Africa, especially, would come, and a fair number of them would be Anglicans, and they would find the church, and we would have black people in the church, and we would have people from India and other places like that in the church, and that was kind of neat. But most people didn't have that kind of contact with people other than.
You weren't
Right,
always an atheist, so.
No. I've only been an atheist. I've only been out as an atheist for the last 10 or 15 years, maybe. No, I was sort of a. Well, of course, there's a God, and I'm an Episcopalian, and that's just the way things are. But I was always very liberal, and I never denied science or anything like that. So it was.
That wasn't a criticism.
No,
I think it was a criticism.
I'm feeling defensive because, of course,
Joanne just got back to me to tell me she doesn't have a mic. So.
Okay.
And Kevin didn't got back to me, but he's not logged on Facebook. So.
Mm.
Yeah. Anyways, I wanted to say something and I forgot. Oh well.
About how you were misandrying Tom for not being an atheist?
No. No, I really don't care about people not being atheists. I really,
I don't.
As long as people don't try to convert me into their shit, I don't care.
And don't.
You do you.
And don't hurt other people because of their religion.
Mm-hmm.
Because of anything, to be honest.
Well, yeah, but we were talking.
But specifically
about
in the context of religion.
In this case. Yeah, and my religion was always, very outreach. Not outreach to convert people to Christianity, but outreach to help people who needed help. And that was, the church was always very interested in doing things like that. So it was, I felt.
Do you have a lot of Anglicans in the U.S.?
No.
Mm-hmm.
They're about 3 million or so, 3 or 4 million.
It's a pretty sizable church.
But it's divided into several different organizations. It has split off mostly as the church itself liberalizes. I mean, we have at least one gay bishop and a number of gay clergy, and we have women have been able to be clergy for the last 15, 20 years, something like that.
Yeah.
And that has split off a lot of people who are sort of Anglo-Catholic who just can't stand that kind of modernization in the church.
Mm-hmm. The Episcopalian Church is very similar to the Anglican Church, and they've gone through pretty much the exact same thing in the last few years.
Episcopals are Anglicans. It's just in the U.S., it's the Episcopal Church.
Yeah.
Did you know that, or are you just poking at me?
Oh, no, I didn't. It's just that I know that recently the South Carolina Diocese of the Episcopalian Church left because of the gay bishop and joined the Anglican Diocese that specifically doesn't do that sort of thing.
Okay. Marty just said she's available to talk to folks.
Yeah, I'm going to send her the link.
Okay.
On Facebook.
The Book of Face. And while we wait for Marty, Greta Thunberg recently, a couple of days ago actually, told Trump to go fuck himself in a very wonderful little way.
Yeah, she's amazing. She changed her Twitter bio just to troll him. That kid is fucking cool.
Yeah, I like her.
I mean, you get a love. How old is he? 80 something?
He's 79, I think.
Yeah, well, 80 years old man on a Twitter war with a teenager. I mean,
well, Trump.
And he thinks he can win against a teenager. I mean, that's funny.
Yeah, Trump is just a little bit older than I am. He's not. He's like 72, 73, something like that.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah,
Hmm.
he and I were in
Oh, I was
college
thinking
at
of
about the
Bernie.
same time.
I thought he
Oh, you
was.
talking about Bernie?
I was thinking of Bernie.
I thought he
Bernie's
was
older than
way
me.
older than you, but
Not more than I think a year or two.
well, he
'Cause-
looks way older than you.
Well,
in a
that's because
sense.
that's because
It's all that healthy living.
that's because I drink Virgin's blood, and he gets peed on by hookers. So it's just a different lifestyle.
I don't. Yeah, don't dismiss hookers.
Yeah,
Well,
no king shaming.
Oh, I'm not dismissing them. I'm just saying
That's
that's his
yeah.
his beauty routine is different than mine.
By the way, with that black shirt, you're more Pratchetti than ever.
I'm crotchety.
No,
Pratchetti.
Pratchetti.
Oh, Pratchety. Oh yeah. I need a hat. I gotta get a
You
good
don't
Pratchett
need the hat though. You
Well, I want one.
the shirt is good.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the hat would help.
I want a Pratchett hat though.
Also, get a
Black
sword.
suits you well.
A what?
I like your T-shirt too, John.
Oh, thank you.
You already had that one last week.
Probably. But Pratchett got himself a sword made of meteorite iron.
Ooh. Ooh, that is oh man. that
Pratchett
is
was cool. I'm sorry,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
And he was kind of upset that he couldn't carry it around outside. That would be knife
yeah.
crime.
Once he was knighted, though, he could no.
No, he didn't get the sword until after he was knighted.
Oh, because you thought he could.
No, he just wanted the sword because he's a knight, so he has to have a sword. And
Yeah,
then
of
he was
course.
upset that he couldn't walk around with it.
Well, I understand. What's the use of being a fucking knight if you can't have a sword?
I like David's comment here. Trump is the same age as three of Finland's ministers put together. Three of Finland's what prime minister, president, whatever. Yeah, she's apparently very cool. I know a Finn who is very excited by this young
I
woman.
have no idea who is Jacinda Ahern.
Hmm?
I can't read if
Jacinda
it's
Ahern.
an M or an R and
It's
and
it's
N.
it's Ahern, Ahern.
Thank you.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how to pronounce it, but I know it's an RN.
Because I read it as ahem, and in French when you say ahem, it means you're
Farting?
you're
Orgasming?
clearing your throat.
It means the same thing in English.
Okay.
Ahem, ahem.
Oh, she's the New Zealand Prime Minister. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, she's
New
cool.
She the one who just had a baby?
No.
Well, she's a liberal, but
Jacinda, yeah. But I think
she's cool for a
I was thinking the Finnish prime minister,
Hmm.
the new Finnish prime minister.
But Mithril is British. Or actually, Mithril is an expat.
Oh, I saw a post about. I think it was Finland who has the top 5 politicians in Finland are women.
Really?
So
at
that's
least, yeah.
that's a whole government Mike Pence can be alone with. That's something I saw on Facebook or on Twitter. I can't remember. It was funny.
Yeah, he's going to have mommy with him if he visits.
Don't infantilize her. She's mother.
Oh, all right. I'm sorry. I guess I was thinking of what they call each other in private.
Oh God.
Yeah, I don't want to think about it either. I'm sorry. Oh, 35. I thought.
Okay. Merlin
So
is
three
saying,
35-year-olds would be 105, not 72. Come on.
Hello, Geodasher.
Hello.
Welcome.
Yes, we are very random. We just talk about random shit.
don't know that he's talking about our podcast.
Yes. But, finding us at random is very appropriate because that's how we do.
Look at his face.
He's
Well,
so pretty.
he's a little too close to the camera, but
That's okay. You can see pictures of him in the upper right. I don't know if you can go that high, Skag.
yeah, he's 5.
Yeah.
And that's with the emotional maturity and all that.
I was going to say 2 because he's still stuck in the terrible 2s.
It's asking for a password, John. Can you send it to me so I can send it to her?
I can do that. Let me...
Unless, are you friends with her on Facebook?
Possibly. Let me copy the URL and get on Facebook.
Oh, he's too close. It just tried to scratch his ear with his back paw, and it
Kick the camera.
No, it hit the desk, and it was fun. Well, if you're not friends,
Well, we are friends on Facebook.
well, send her the
I
password
am
directly.
doing that
then.
right
That's-
now.
Yeah,
As soon as I can figure out
that
how
will
to...
be more efficient.
The link is sent.
Look at that kitty. Oh my God, it's so cute. It doesn't want to be held.
You're smothering me.
Yeah, it's got a little more energy this week than last week, so it's not as passive as you can see. Well, now you can't see anything but part of his mane, but
But beautiful anyway.
Yes.
yeah, I'm so happy he's doing good. Well, good, better. I don't think it's going to gain weight, but it's not losing weight, so that being said, now that I'm touching around his spine, pretty sure he has gained a little. I
That's
can't
good.
feel it as well as I could.
Still asking for a password. That is so weird.
I think she is late on the stream.
But I never set up a password.
Yes, you did. The first time I think the first time we logged on, we had to put on a password. I don't know, maybe send her the link from, I just copied it from Facebook, but maybe.
Oh, I sent her a new one.
Oh. Camera.
Okay,
just
I can
failed.
give you the pass. I see that it automatically set up a password. I can give that to you right now. Just as soon
It's
as I...
swordfish. That video was so silly.
Yeah.
So you have Merlin's butt.
Cat butt.
Yeah, cat butt.
I just sent you the password, Marty.
Fluffy butt. So fun anecdote. When we got to the vet on Tuesday, she tried to take she took his temperature, and she is so fluffy she couldn't find his butt. That was funny.
He's literally a fluff butt.
Yeah. He has. I don't know how it's called. It's called the pants. I think the part where they have their leg and butt hair. Anyways, he has big pants. Or is it called skirt? I don't remember. It's called something weird. Oh, so now it's showing you his face. That's
Yes.
better. Well, his ear.
And there's Marty.
Marty! Yay!
Marty.
If you're talking, we can't hear you.
I'm not talking yet.
There you are.
We can hear you. Oh,
Yes,
trousers. Thank you, Mithril. It's trousers.
Oh, okay.
Did I miss something?
No.
We were talking about Merlin's butt hair.
Oh, okay. Because when I first came over to the UK, I actually thought that pants meant the same thing as trousers.
No.
Oh, no, it's the
It
underwear.
means underpants.
Yeah, and I told someone to pull down their pants.
Oh. Yeah. Because for those who don't know, Marty is a
Radiographer.
radiographer. That's right.
Yes. So, you guys were wanting to talk about Brexit?
Not really
Well,
Brexit
just the
in particular, just the election and Brexit. Well, the situation
Yeah.
Well,
currently, the whole mess in the US right now, and why
I
the
was going to
Tories
say,
won when they didn't have the majority of the voices.
Oh my God.
well, you have to think about it in a few different ways. First of all, the right wing owns the media here. Literally owns the media.
Yeah, yeah, BBC is.
When
Yeah.
Well, the BBC is trying to play. Think of Fox News being 5 different newspapers or 5 different media corporations owning all the newspapers.
Yeah.
That's the way it is over here.
Yeah.
Literally. I mean, the only left newspapers they have are The Guardian and The Independent.
The Guardian is left now. Oh God.
Well, and that's it's left-ish. It's
Yeah.
it's neoliberal. I mean, it's basically Bill Clinton's newspaper. You know, that kind of leftist.
The rapist one.
So basically, you can
Sorry.
have you can have Boris Johnson call gay men bum boys.
Yeah. Oh my God. I saw an interview of a woman who was so reluctant to say it was homophobic.
Yeah, because she's a Tory advisor.
She's a Boris stan.
Well, and that is like the definition of stan, because she would not. Owen Jones kept pressing her, saying, "This is homophobic," and she was
That's
like,
the interview
"I
I'm
don't think
talking
it
about.
is." Yeah, it was bad. But when you have the kind of media that's like that, Corbyn exists in a weird place in British politics. Basically, he was, when there was a leadership election. Oh, I think it was 2016.
Yeah, I remember that.
Basically, he was a joke.
They tried to
He was just allowed in. Well, no. Well, his first leadership election, they thought he was a joke, and they just kind of put him in to include him. No one expected him to win, and when he did, it was a shock through the Labour Party, because before that, you had basically Tony Blair, the Blair wing of the party, which is the equivalent of, say, for Americans, it's the equivalent of the Bill Clinton wing of the Democratic Party.
Yeah, it's liberal.
Yes, very.
The Nancy Pelosi's of the world.
Yeah, and Corbyn is an actual leftist, so even if he's pretty mild.
Exactly, he's more left, I would say, than Bernie, but not a lot. His policies were a little bit more leftist, but you can be, because the UK is to the
I
to the
was
left
going
of,
to say it's Europe, so it's it will be more left than the US.
Mm-hmm.
But there's so many interesting aspects to this. I mean, because you can look at what happened to labor is it's more about the Tories and Boris Johnson than it is about Corbyn, to be honest with you. I mean, because basically it's lowest common denominator. That's what all this boils down to. People are in a bad way. They want change. I mean, that's the same reason you got Trump. People want in the Midwest.
That being
change.
said, like for Trump, they were elected with less voices than the person that lost. Like,
well, but
Labor had more votes than.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I do get kind of tired when leftists say that, because that's not how the game is played.
That's what I was saying at the beginning. I don't understand that system. In France, it doesn't work like that. So I don't understand how someone who has more votes can lose. Well, I understand how it works in the US because of the.
Well, in Britain, the Labour didn't get more votes.
It's first past the post.
In Britain, I don't understand the system. I don't understand how that works. So
it's divided up into districts, like in the US, right?
Well, it's more like
they don't call them districts,
yes.
but
ridings.
It's more like towns. I mean, like you have an MP from Chatham or an MP from Rochester or an MP from.
Okay, so the seats are decided upon the number of towns, not the number of votes. Is that it?
Well, it depends on the number of people that are in those locations more than it does.
Oh God! If I was still talking to Christy, it would be a good stuff to ask her.
No. Well, if it was about Hillary Clinton, but
no, because she understands political systems very well, and she's good at explaining them. That's all.
Well, I won't say anything about that.
It's her job, so she's good at it.
She's not very good at jokes.
No. But let's not go there.
But
go on.
Let's not.
Yes,
but
election.
But I mean, as far as because this election was about Brexit. It was all about Brexit.
Yeah, but that's what's weird, because Corbyn is not against Brexit. He has a Brexit plan.
But see, here's the thing. When basically you have...
He actually does, unlike the Tories.
Well, no. But most people that support Brexit, that are strong Brexiteers, they want the UK to leave and just leave. Just go out on WTO terms and just leave. And
that's not going to happen.
Well, I think it depends. I mean, it very well could. Boris Johnson's playing, he's playing a betting game, essentially, and that's that the European Union will flinch because he's won this majority. And I agree with you. They won't. They won't.
The EU doesn't need the UK.
Well, and that's there is so much ego in this because Britain has a history of being a superpower, and they just aren't anymore. And it's kind of like they can't let go of that.
In the EU, the top players in the EU are Germany and France.
Germany, yeah. I mean, I think when it comes down to it, I think that very well, the UK very well could exit without a plan. But honestly,
I think what's going to put them in the shit. That's what.
Here's what I think is going to happen. I think they're going to dress up.
It's going to violate the Good Friday agreements and all that. So.
And Boris Johnson pretends like, that's just not going to happen. But what I think is going to happen is that basically they're going to dress up Theresa May's deal, and it'll get passed. It'll get passed now because of this election. I don't see it not passing, because the this whole thing, if there's a pretty good set of videos that was done by what's his name? He's an atheist, Stephen Fry. He did
God.
a really good.
Yeah, but he's a cunt. So
He is, but he did a really good a set of videos on Brexit and
Okay.
understanding why the wealthy want it. Basically, it's so that they can hide money in British-owned tax
well,
havens and not.
duh. I know why the wealthy wants Brexit. Well, I know why the poor wants Brexit too. It's racism, but
Well, you know what's a funny thing about that?
Can't be
I'm
racist
a
against white people.
American. I'm a white American in the UK, and guess what? I've never heard. I've never heard anyone say, "You came over here and stole our jobs," but I did.
well, you're white, aren't you?
Yeah,
but so are
and that's the
Poles.
thing.
And you speak English mostly.
Mostly.
Hey now.
Well,
Well,
you're going to speak it a little bit differently than. Yeah, well, that's right.
Hoosier.
That's right.
So
With some Wisconsin roots. So
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what
I
I was
claim
going to
you a
say.
little
Aren't
bit.
aren't you from the same place?
no, I'm from. Well, anyway, go ahead.
and I was a bit more south. I was in Madison, and you're kind of up north, right?
Well, I'm near the Twin Cities, so mid
Yeah.
in the west, in the middle of the state. I did spend several years in Madison though, so I love the city too.
You're from the same state. So stop saying you went
Well,
the same.
remember, that's like saying that they're from the same country. It might be a less populous state than, say, France, but it's going to be about the same size, probably.
No. Yes.
Lyon, Paris.
He might,
same
for
thing.
real, he might be right about that.
In terms of area, is what I meant.
I don't think no. Wisconsin is a little bit bigger than maybe twice the size of Scotland, so not as big as France.
Well, get this.
France is not it's not that big.
Well, it's bigger than Scotland.
Yeah, but
sort of. You're the expert here.
From the top.
France is about 10 times the size of Wisconsin.
Oh,
I was gonna say from the top of Wisconsin to the bottom of Indiana. Think about that size. That's the size of the UK. You could fit the UK in the space of Indiana.
David
Wisconsin.
says you're all Norwegians anyway.
No, there are a lot of Swedes in the upper Midwest.
We have Finns too.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of Native
I'm a
Americans.
Roman, so no, I don't think I have a drop of Nordic blood in me.
I think he was just talking about the Wisconsinites.
Oh, I thought he was talking about white people.
Yeah, the Upers and the UP there, they're a lot of Norwegians and Finns there.
Yes, very much so.
Anyways,
this is not getting us to Brexit. I'm sorry, Marty. I'm really curious about the election of Brexit.
Well, and that literally, people want to change. It feels exactly like the 2016 election with Trump. People wanted a change candidate. Hillary Clinton was the status quo candidate. Labor were basically standing for the status quo. They weren't quite Brexit for or against. They were kind of playing the middle for a long time, for too long, and their position was very nuanced. And
dare they?
Well, to be honest with
I'm
you,
sorry.
I hate it to be this way, but the reality is, in politics, you have to have dumbed down messages. It has to be 3 words.
I know.
Brexit means Brexit. Get Brexit done. Trump, make America great again. Just these short phrases, and it has to be really simplistic. And
I know that's how fucking Macron was elected. So
And
he had
it's
nothing.
frustrating.
He had nothing but catchphrases, and people voted for him. So, and he's probably going to be reelected. Let me tell you. well, maybe not after this retirement. Well, honestly, it's the same. When you see his policies, France has become a police state, basically. So.
Well, that's because you guys know how to riot.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, that's the one thing that I have hope in, to be honest with you, because Americans don't riot. I mean, they just don't. I mean, they have the only.
Well, we do have race riots.
English don't riot either.
Oh, yes, they do.
The Brits are
2010.
The Brits are too polite.
Oh, not about football.
Yeah, not about football, but football is one thing. I mean, even in the US, you have riots over sports. That's not the same thing.
I'm talking. Oh, well, yeah, exactly. I'm talking about political type stuff, and it does happen. You saw it in, I believe, in 2010 in the summer, with the youth.
The youths
burning cars. Yeah, and I mean it was pretty. Nothing compares to the French when it comes to I mean they protest.
Yeah,
the
that's
menu.
something. Yeah, that's something we know how to do. Honestly, that's the one thing we can be proud of. I think we know how to fucking strike and riot and
light shit on fire.
Yeah.
Decapitate people.
Yes. Do it, England. Do it.
They know how. They have history of that. They know how to do it.
The sad thing is that if you look at American history, things and British history, things are going to have to get a lot worse before they get any better. Unfortunately.
Yeah, but everywhere I think because we know how to riot, but a lot of French people, the American culture hegemony is coming to us, let's say.
Well, the thing in America, I find, at least from like my perspective growing up where I did in the Midwest, was that if you protested, like I wouldn't be able to work if I got arrested. That's tied basically to my job. There's an ethics. Like if you get arrested, then they can take your license away to practice being a radiographer. If you have, I mean, it literally, when you go to renew your license, it says, do you have any charges against you that aren't misdemeanors or driving offenses, basically. Anything else than that, you have to report that, and they can basically take your license away from an ethical violation. So basically, it's a way to keep people from protesting, work them to death, basically. But I hope that because we actually have union representation over here, it's declining. But in America, it's like around, I believe, about 4%, and it's very anemic. On that, I would like to say something a little bit off topic, but I find it really hypocritical.
You have a right to be off topic, Marty.
Well, I find it really hypocritical of these so-called leftist. Bread tubers. I think bread tube is bullshit.
The cake tube.
How many of those so-called leftists are fucking unionized? 0%. How many? You want to talk about hierarchies? YouTube is full of them, and isn't that supposed to be the point of anarchism? Is to get rid of hierarchies?
Marty, you know our opinions on that. We're with you.
Except possibly Tom.
No, even Tom is with us on the.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, if they're all about.
Yeah.
Well, a good way would be to unionize people like Peter and Dusty, and I can go down the line. If you have more than 100,000 followers, you should probably be unionized.
Dusty never
a
pretended to be a leftist, though.
No.
Which
He went from conservative to liberal, basically.
Yeah, which is what I like about him, is not pretending to be something he's not. And that's all I basically want from a YouTuber. I mean, my issue with the leftist, my issue with the leftist quote unquote YouTube is that, yeah, a lot of them pretend to be what they are not, and I don't like that.
Well, and what bothers me so much is that if you're a leftist, you're talking about using the master's tools to destroy the master's house, and that doesn't work. I mean, and at the very bottom of lines, you should be.
I don't know about that. The stuff the French peasants used were owned by their masters, so.
Well,
you have to be willing to really mean it, and that's something they're not.
But how many of these YouTubers are sharing their wealth with other people? They're not.
That's what I was going to say.
I mean, ultimately,
that's something Christy does, and that I like. See, there's a lot that I have to. Anyway,
no offense,
there's a lot I have
Christy
to.
doesn't have that big of an audience. I'm talking more like somebody with Peter.
Yeah, but I mean, she has a smaller audience, but she shares her Patreon income, you know. So and she's a liberal. She's not even a leftist, but she's more of a leftist in action than Peter will ever be.
Well, and not just Peter. I mean, people like American Johnson, and I mean, you can go down Philosophy Tube and all these guys.
Yeah, all the rich ones.
Well, I'm sorry, if you're making more than 30 grand a year from YouTube, you should be unionized. You should take part of your money at the very least and join a union. Because at least
money
that's
corrupts,
something.
You know, I think it's not a coincidence that all those cake tubers are just leftist in words and not in action, are all having a sizable income from their activity. I don't think it's a coincidence.
I agree with that. It's something that they wear more than they are. It's, and you know, something that really pointed me in that direction was Christiosity when she went to the
she's amazing.
Yeah, she is so awesome. When she went to MythCon and spoke at MythCon, which I kind of chided her about because I think it's literally just a rot infested. Yes, exactly. But it's just a troll fest. But she went and she spoke, and there was a party, and people that were helping other people sue. I think it was Dave Silverman. It wasn't Dave Silverman.
Richard Carrier.
Yes, Richard Carrier was in the slap suit.
There's news on that front.
He backed off of several. Yes. I need to get PZ on here sometime.
Yeah, well, go ahead.
But the thing is, the people that were involved with that, financing it, making that happen, had a little party.
Yeah.
And all the leftists except for Christiosity went to that party. And it's just like, it reminds me of not Yosemite Sam, but of Wile E. Coyote clocking in and clocking out. And it's just a job to them. This is just a job, and it's a grift.
Oh yeah,
it's a
totally.
grift, and that's all it is. at the end of the day, they can go and have, coffee or, go out and party with these people. Like, oh, it's just a difference of opinion, and it's not.
No, it's not.
I mean, these things impact people's lives. So, I mean,
they know that, but they don't care anymore. I think they cared at the beginning, but now that they have theirs, they don't care anymore. I mean, I think the glaring example of that is ContraPoints.
Yeah.
She used to care so much at the beginning, and now look at her. Oh my God. She's become everything she hated. That's sad.
Well, and her, for me, the turning point was when she was the what's his name,
Buck Angel,
Buck Angel stuff, because she deified him in a way that I was just like shocked. Anyone in the trans community knows this guy is toxic. The only good thing I can say about him is that he has done a lot for sexual liberation when it comes to trans men. Other than that, I really can't say anything good about him.
Thoroughly medicalized
trans medicalist. Yeah? Oh yes, and basically,
trans men with gone. Dicks.
Yeah. So when it comes to Contra, she was saying, well, what should I do? You should do the fucking right thing, regardless of what it costs you. You shouldn't be
every time she fucks up, she whines the what should have I done, blah blah blah. It's not difficult.
People, here's the thing. I founded Trans Advocate. I don't know if any of you guys have ever heard of Trans Advocate, but it's a fairly big trans website, politically oriented.
Yeah, no, babe, we're cis as fuck. We're pretty ignorant on that front, I'm afraid.
If Jonathan and Jamie were here, they might know.
I know mermaids, but...
Mm-hmm.
Well, Trans Advocate basically is a nonprofit, American nonprofit that does a lot of raising of voices of trans voices within the community in America, in the UK, and in Brazil. And I founded it, and Kristen Williams has actually taken it to new heights. She's the one that turned it into a nonprofit and really elevated it.
Nice.
But that being said, it was many years ago, probably 2009. I got canceled, and because RuPaul had used the T word, he had said the word tranny, and I was
RuPaul is an asshole, though.
And the thing is, he's not trans. He specifically said he's a gay man.
Yeah.
And I basically took him to task. Well, what I did do that was really fucked up was I actually wrote out the N-word.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah. And Black Twitter roasted me. And guess what? I'm still here. I still exist. I did something that was not overtly, not purposely racist, but it was. And I had to own that and learn from it. And I'm still here. And, she should do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
She should do what's right, do the right thing.
But I don't think she thinks anything she did was wrong. That's the problem. I think she's that far gone, honestly.
She also might be deliberately courting controversy for clicks.
Yeah.
Well, her name is Contra Points.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this person is getting points for controversy.
Mm-hmm.
But I think ultimately she doesn't need somebody to tell her what she should do. She shouldn't be doing it based on her audience. She should be doing the right thing because it's the right thing to do.
Yeah, especially since she can afford to lose some of her audience.
Well, she lost me. I'm sure she's crying.
Yeah. Anyways, can we get back on subject unless you don't have anything else to say on the UK and Brexit subject?
As far as Brexit goes, as far as I think the biggest.
If you said everything you had to say, that's fine.
No, ultimately, I think that when you look at British politics, you have to look at the press. The fact that the press is toxic to the point of where even the royal family is suing.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, they killed Princess Diana.
Yeah.
And they're trying to do the same type of thing to Meghan Markle and Harry. And, they're just hounding them to pieces. And it's when it comes to trans people, it's the same way. You look in the Times, literally, I just did a cursory look. 300 articles about trans people, the majority of them negative. 300 in a year. That's a negative trans story almost every single day.
Yeah, that's transphobia in the UK. It's getting bad.
But you apply this on Corbyn, it's worse. I don't even want to imagine. And if you go into like my shop at work, they have a whole wall full of newspapers. And I would say 95% of them, or probably 98% of them, are right-wing papers. And they're saying basically that Corbyn is anti-Semitic. That was the big one.
That one is weird. Like the Tories aren't fucking racist fuckers. Oh god.
Yeah, but they support Israel, so I'm assuming that's what it's about.
Well,
I'm pretty sure Corbyn supports Israel too, but
Corbyn actually supports the Palestinian.
That's why they say he's anti-Semitic. Okay.
Yeah. Well, and because
he's opposed up a notch, in my opinion. I already liked him, but
he's opposed to an apartheid state. Oh, what a bastard!
I know,
anti-Semitic bastard.
And the thing is, the press over here will basically, they have been talking about, well, look at these people from the IRA he was with. Yeah. Because he was brokering, the Good Friday agreement wouldn't have happened without Corbyn. The people in the leadership in the IRA that have said as much. So they just will twist.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what leftist gets in.
It's what the Daily Mirror, the Sun. I know
the Daily Mail.
Oh, the Daily Fail. Oh God, how anyone still believes anything that newspaper says is beyond me.
I have a potentially odd question. Do you know anything about the newspaper in Scotland, the Scotsman? Do you know their ownership or what?
Yeah.
Or anything about their editorial policy or stance?
To be honest with you, I believe they were sold. I'm not sure. See, the thing is with Scotland, you have to realize that the UK is a United Kingdom, and so you have basically 3 countries.
Yeah.
Or Wales, Scotland, Ireland, and England.
Mm-hmm.
So there is definitely in Scotland, it's very much more left. They voted Remain 60%.
Yeah, and they voted Labour like crazy.
Well, Labour and SNP.
SNP. basically, a lot of people left the Labour Party in Scotland when the Labour Party didn't support the referendum. A lot of people felt betrayed by that. So, and there's calls for another. It's going to be interesting because one of the things, Labour got decimated in this election, but the SNP did not. The Tories were talking about actually trying to gain ground in Scotland, and they didn't get one seat.
I saw the numbers. Labour didn't seem decimated.
Well,
but I don't understand that system. So
I believe they lost 50 seats. I believe.
Oh.
It was pretty significant.
How do you lost that many seats when you have more votes? Again, I don't get it. That's not democracy to me. But anyway,
first past the post.
No, but yeah, I'm a bitter French woman. Don't listen to me.
But it's
you should
all
smoke
about.
Less. I don't smoke.
It's all about drama of the lowest common denominator that is Brexit is racism. It's foreigners are coming over here taking your jobs.
Mithril says SNP had 55 of the 59 seats in Scotland.
Right.
Yep.
That's a lot.
My Scottish blood sings in joy.
William Wallace lives.
Well, and if and you know, I think there could have been a coalition had there been more of a. The biggest thing for me as a trans person here is seeing how transphobia was treated within the Labour Party. Basically, it wasn't addressed and it was pushed to the side. And I think that's the way anti-Semitism was done too. There is legitimately anti-Semitism within the Labour Party, and it wasn't, and it was pushed to the side and not addressed.
And when it's issues raised by actual leftist people, it is worthwhile to listen to them. Mm-hmm. When it's the Tories, it's not.
Well, and you have to wonder if these so-called leftists get in power when they're not addressing their own internal problems like transphobia or anti-Semitism, then how are they going to deal with the really big problems?
Yeah, I agree with that. Even if you are what's the word, nice in your interpretation, and you want to say, even if you're charitable, it was the word I was going to say, and you say, well, they have good intentions, but that's not an excuse anymore. I feel like, especially since transphobia has gotten very, very bad last couple of years in the UK. What with Julie Bindel and bitches like that.
It gets even worse than that.
I know that
the largest union in the UK is TUC, the Trade Union Congress, and their president is the husband of the person that founded the largest anti-trans group in the UK. So you have a very leftist organization that has roots of transphobia in it.
Yeah.
And literally, I don't know if you guys know who Debbie Hayton is. She's a trans woman that's anti-trans. And literally,
she was in the infamous debate on Channel 4, wasn't she?
Yeah,
with Jermaine Greer.
I'm not sure. She's an older-looking woman with kind of silverish long hair.
Yeah, but why is it all anti-trans are like that? Well, except maybe Blair White, but
because they'll get the thing is, those people get a platform because they basically will get eyeballs. But when it comes to Debbie, she's on the LGBT committee of the TUC, and
God.
yeah, well, yes, I mean that's the thing. She led. So last year, she led the trans portion of the LGBT conference
And
for the TUC,
and she's a tough.
and she's anti-trans. And literally, they had come out with something in one of the newspapers that was anti-trans. Literally, the person that was the head of the LGBT committee that day was at the podium talking about this anti-trans piece, while one of the signatories, who was Debbie Hayton, was sitting on the podium.
Oh God.
So when it comes to
Why?
transphobia, when it comes to yes,
God.
in leftist spaces, you have to be able to deal with this stuff and root it out. And if you're not, then you're not going to energize trans people to come out for labor.
Yeah,
you're not going to.
Yeah, I know. That's something though that honestly, I think 90% of my UK friends are trans, and that's something they were willing to get over, to out the Tories.
There was a really shitty part of the manifesto that John McDonald actually went and defended.
I heard about
to mums
that.
netters.
Yeah, I heard about that, but that's still better than the fucking Tories.
Well, exactly. Although I will say that the people that are anti-trans are not always Tory. I mean, you have some labor
I
people.
know. Oh, I know.
One of the biggest transphobes is a lord. He's in the House of Lords. Basically, in the UK,
which one is it?
Basically, you have two houses, which is the House of Commons. Those are the MPs that are voted in,
and
then you have the House of Lords.
House of future guillotines.
Exactly.
You still are feeding them. I'm sorry, but this needs to stop.
Well, and to be honest with you, like I said, I think it's going to have to get a lot worse.
Pratchett would have had a pass if he was still alive, but I think he would have approved of the beheading of the lords.
He had a sword. He had a really cool sword. That would have been a way to go. On a completely different note, and I'm sorry, you guys can continue.
Is it that time?
Yeah, David, get ready.
I'm tired.
I'm old.
Yeah, poor thing.
And I've been here almost 2 hours, which is, sort of a record. This is a tribute to you, Marty. I was, I'm so interested.
I'm honored.
You should be. I'm just really happy that you were able to come on and talk about things that happened yesterday, day before, and are pretty raw for a lot of folks.
Yeah, it's important.
Maybe indicative of some things that we have to address going forward here in the States too. So anyway,
well, fuck
everybody who needs to be. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, no, Tom, it really is. I felt less raw because I went through Trump. I went through with y'all. I mean, I was over here, but I had only been over here about 4 months, and my heart and my campaigning had been in Wisconsin for Bernie Sanders before I left. So it just devastated me. It was funny because everybody over here was like, wow, but they weren't raw like most Brits are that are leftists are right now. Right. And I know exactly how they feel, and you know exactly how they feel. Because it feels exactly like the day after Trump. But we got to do the same thing. We got to organize. We got to continue to support each other. We got to connect and be the support that because the government is not going to support us. It's going to try to
And
kill us.
Americans unionize for fuck's sake.
And
Yes,
light people on fire.
No.
Yes,
Metaphorically.
but unionize first.
And literally. Kill all landlords with knives.
Well, I think we need to build a support system for the flamethrowers first. But
How
your thought is good.
about a flamethrowers union?
There we go. Let's start with that. Anyway,
Yeah,
as I was
teach
saying,
people to wield them. I don't know how to do that.
The Union of American Flamethrowers.
you
Wow.
guys
Yeah,
stop talking because I need
Tommy's
to go.
trying to fuck off.
Yes.
I'm trying to fuck off, and I can't do that if you're talking. And I want to tell everybody who needs to be told to fuck off to fuck off. I don't want to do that to Marty at the moment because she's going through enough. But anyway, I fuck off everybody who
fuck
needs
off
to.
already
and,
now.
And by Marty, and I'll talk to you sometime.
Bye, babe.
All right. Talk to you
Bye,
soon.
Tom.
Rest well. Well,
Rest in
fuck
power.
you.
See, I kind of always thought that Tom saying "fuck you" was kind of like it was kind of like a cuddly thing.
Yeah.
It was like an honorific kind of. There's something like a title he bestowed on you.
Depends. No, it is fuck you to everyone.
Mm-hmm. That's just how we do.
Everyone that matters, though.
Yes.
I don't tell people fuck you. I tell them to fuck off.
This is true.
I
This
tell
is true,
fuck
you
you
do.
to my friends because they're my friends. They're worthy.
I come to expect that from you.
She just
I
murders people she doesn't like.
Me?
Yeah,
Do I? Oh, okay.
metaphorically. With your cane.
Honestly, the more I age and the more I just ignore people. I don't have enough energy for that shit, I think. I have actually important things to do with my energy, so like cuddling my cat. Oh.
Speaking of, look who just walked in. Oop.
Well, fuck you,
And
John.
then
You
walked
just
right back
yeah.
out.
you just
No, he
said
ran
fuck
under the
you,
bed
John.
because he thought I was playing.
Yeah, everything is going to shit, I think. And I think the US should brace itself to have Biden as the Democrat nominee and to be fucked.
No.
Really.
Mhm.
No.
I'm going to
Well-
ugh.
No, but hope for
Biden's
better,
the
but
only way they lose.
I know.
Mhm.
But I wish for better, but be prepared for it to happen because
Yeah.
it can happen, and
Yeah.
you need to be ready if it does.
If
Because
anybody who wants
Biden-
to vote for a creepy old racist has Trump.
Yeah, Biden is going to lose. So
Yep.
That's
Honestly,
malarkey.
I'm pretty sure Warren is going to lose too. I'm pretty sure only Bernie can win, but who I am.
I think anybody but Biden. Let me give you some perspective.
I don't know. Do you think Americans are ready to vote for a woman?
Yes.
Yes. I don't think that a lot of people's problem with Hillary Clinton was that she was a woman. It's that she was a status quo politician.
Yeah, she was a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't say that.
I did.
But I'll give you an example. Barack Obama was. I did a lot of research on him before I became a delegate for Obama in 2008, and I was on his LGBT policy and steering committee as well. And I did a lot of research into him. When he was a state senator, he supported trans rights. Didn't have to, wasn't in his best interest, but he did it anyways. Hillary Clinton, when she was in New York at a dinner for gay rights.
Yes, she did, David.
She basically, when people ask her if trans people should be included in discrimination legislation, she said, the gays haven't asked for that.
Oh, God.
And that is in a nutshell the kind of politician she is.
Yeah, and the year before that, she didn't give a shit about the gays either. So
she cares about triangulation and getting money.
And also,
That's it.
I think a lot of people didn't forget that she said stuff like black men are super predator and stuff like that.
Again, at the time, that was popular for her to say that. It was
but a lot of people didn't forget. She didn't have a lot of the black votes.
Well, and this is what I'm talking about. When I talk about when I went out for Barack Obama, I had never went door to door. I did that in Indiana for a black man.
God.
And I also and if any of you know about Indiana,
that could be worse. That could be in what's its name?
South Carolina.
I was thinking about Mississippi, but the same difference.
The Bible Belt.
I actually phone banked for Andre Carson as well, who is a black man and a Muslim. That was fun.
In Indiana too?
Yes. In
Muslims have to be even worse than black people.
What's funny is he was
undemonize. No.
Well, what was funny about that is A, he was elected. B, he has been one of the longest serving Indiana representatives that is on the LGBT caucus. So,
cool.
This is a guy that totally has, from when he was first elected, I asked him, I said, do you support trans inclusion in INDA, which at the time was the Employment Non-Discrimination Act? And he was totally 100% in support of it.
What's your take on Buttigieg?
He is Obama 2.0. Here's the thing. When I hate making Bernie out to be like Princess Leia. You're our only hope, Bernie. But because he's flawed as well.
He's kind of is though.
He's a flawed candidate in a lot of ways.
Of course he is, but compared to all the others,
he's not a liberal. He's the leftist of the bunch.
First off,
that's actual left. That's not very far left, but.
First off, people are worrying way too much about the presidential election, because even if you get Bernie, if you don't have people like AOC in Congress, in both sides of the Congress, you need to have at least 10, 20 AOCs. People that are actual leftists. She needs
to be president.
Well, not even president. The thing is,
we need both houses of Congress
have to have
as well.
Congress.
Yeah. She needs to be queen of the world.
Well, the thing is, you have to look at like 2010 as well.
I don't know if it shows, but I kind of like AOC.
Yeah, well, I do too. She is a badass. And she doesn't give a fuck. But in 2010, from 2008 to 2010, Obama had the House, the Senate, and the presidency.
And he did very little.
Yes. No, from a progressive standpoint, he did jack shit. He put in the people that wrecked the economy, people like Larry Summers, and people, especially at the Treasury, are the ones that fuck things up. He installed them in there. He did some really horrific stuff when it came to drone strikes and stuff like that. He wasn't a progressive. And Buttigieg is not a progressive.
No, it's not.
Warren, what I'm afraid of is that if anybody but Bernie or Warren gets in, they're going to be Obama. They're going to be someone that's
Warren she's going to be Obama for sure. But that's better than
I think
Hillary.
She's smarter than Obama. I don't think she'll start with the compromise position and then compromise further.
But you have to
You
look
think
at
so?
what she.
I think
thing
she'll
is,
compromise. I just don't think she'll
But
start with
what-
the compromise.
What has she done? What has she done? She has taken on corruption in the financial sector. She was the head of the body that was looking into corruption in the banking sector. So she has a history of doing really tough things. So I do think that but at the same time, regardless of that, unless she has AOCs in Congress, what's she going to do? A president is not a king.
Yep.
She is in Congress.
No, I'm saying that
no.
unless we have control of Congress with genuine
Yeah,
leftists.
but I mean the 5 women who rock
Yeah,
right
but they
now
don't.
in the US.
They certainly aren't controlling.
No, but they're all in Congress, aren't they?
Mm.
But if you look at it,
But they're all for Bernie, not for Warren.
Mm.
But look at Nancy Pelosi and the way that she that she runs Congress.
She's a spineless bitch.
She's just like Hillary Clinton. She is everything.
She's a
is
conservative.
about counting.
She's a conservative liberal Democrat.
No. The thing is,
I'm saying small c
office in
conservative, not
Congress.
Republican conservative.
Well, to be honest with you, I think we can go a lot. This is the same thing as far as on a bigger scale, as far as what I was talking about leftists being and grifters. It's a grift, and it's just a bigger grift. Literally, there is an office when you get elected to Congress. There is a building that you go to every day, and you have to raise a certain amount of money every single day. You're on the phones.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reality of being a congressperson. You have to do that to get reelected. It's pay to play.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah,
when you
your
have
system
that,
is fucked. I'm sorry, but
no, I agree. It's totally fucked, and I'm not sure how you unfuck it.
I mean, mine
Massive
is fucked
overhaul
too, but
through the Constitution.
Burn it all and start again.
But if we burn it down
point,
at this point, the corporations have so much power. We'll just get the same but worse.
Start by burning those. And I'm not just talking about you. I'm talking about everyone. I'm talking about my country too, because that's the problem here too. The U.S. cultural hegemony has taken its hold here too, and I don't think there is reform.
You can't do it around the edges. You can't.
I don't think reform it can work.
Yeah. Every step we take, they'll just undermine it 5 different ways.
Our systems are just rotten to the core, and there's nothing to salvage from it. It's all vertical.
You can't fix capitalism.
Correct.
You can't fix capitalism.
that has to go. That's for sure. But I think everything else around it has to go too, because it has grown from it now.
But it's literally eating itself now. I mean,
it's eating us.
It's eating us in the process. Yeah. It's kicking in its last hours, and it's kicking hard, and it's doing a lot of casualties.
But eventually, people are going to get to the point of where they've had enough.
The children of our children will be just fine if the planet is still here. Because honestly, the kids are okay.
Yeah. And the thing is that we are getting to the point where everybody is fed up and had enough. But that's how we got, Thursday's election. That's how we got Brexit. That's how we got Trump. That's how we.
Yeah, but hold on. I agree with you, but there are enough people that have jobs that aren't. I mean, it's starting to be like that in Britain, like this in Britain. People are having to go to food banks.
Mm-hmm.
And when the majority of people, when the income inequality is so great, like it was in 1929, when that happens, then people will revolt.
Mm-hmm. But I agree with you. I absolutely agree with you. I'm just thinking, will they turn to socialism or will they turn to fascism? And fascism seems to be on the rise rather than socialism. I'm aware that we do have a good, strong undercurrent of socialism that's especially on the rise among young people. But we also have a strong undercurrent of fascism on the rise among young people, and the boomers like the fascism more.
Old people.
Yeah.
If you see the numbers in Britain by age, young people mostly voted for Labour, and old and boomers voted for Conservatives.
The only problem with that is the young don't vote.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when you have 70% of old people coming out,
they vote more than they did, and it's going to continue to rise. It's not enough yet, but it's going to get there.
Well, and the boomers are dying. Let's just throw that out there.
Oh God! But that's a discussion we had often with my partner. That as long as the boomers are still here, the society can't progress.
I think death of boomers is going to be the best thing for. And no, that's controversial, and Christy wouldn't like that.
Well, you have cognitive dissonance.
I know that, but it's true. I mean,
within 10 years, the U.S. is going to see a massive swing to the left.
I'm not wishing death on anyone, but when that generation is going to die out, things are finally going to be allowed to change. Because Gen X are a little set in their ways, but not as much.
Yep.
They're seeing shit too. Let's say the AIDS crisis wasn't kind of on them.
Yeah, Vietnam, AIDS, and they lived through the 80s, so they're aware of what capitalism does to people.
Yeah,
just that some of them went for Reagan.
They hasn't been affected as much as
millennials
like us or millennials.
Yeah, but you also have to realize in America that it's coming to a point in the next 15 to 20 years where the majority...
Marty, Mithril, your parents are anecdotal. It's statistical. Old people vote more conservative. It's...
And when we say boomer, we mean boomer, like, okay, boomer, rather than, literally people running the
I'm
baby
Gen
boom.
X too, late Gen X, but I'm Gen X too, and Marty is. So we're all Gen X here. Even
I'm on the cusp.
I'm millennium.
No, you're not a millennial.
Just because you were reborn.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fun because we all Gen X, even if John and I are on the exennial end of it, we're still considered X-Gen. Sorry, Marty, you can resume.
I definitely think that when it comes to baby boomers, a lot of things are going to change. My son, I told him not to go into healthcare like I did because I think the bottom's going to fall out of healthcare. The baby boomers are basically all gone because they're a massive chunk of the. You're vaping. I heard that.
Yes, I'm sorry.
But they're a massive part of the electorate, and when they're gone, those people aren't going. I mean, millennials and the taxes that are going to and Gen Xers, our taxes are basically paying for the boomers.
Yeah.
When that's not the case, then it's going to be a more equitable society.
Here too. That's true in Europe too.
So I think the answer eventually is going to come down to eventually things are going to have to change because especially in America. What I was getting ready to say before, within the next 20 years, America is going to become a majority non-white, and that's going to have a massive change on politics as well.
Oh God, your white supremacists are going to lose their shit even more.
No, they already are. Yeah, that's why they're talking about the Great Replacement and people not having enough kids.
That's why I said even more.
Yeah,
I know they're already losing their shit. I see them.
The Great Replacement.
Oh my God! Imagine
I've
being
heard.
so upset about something that has absolutely no importance on who you are at all.
Well, what I think's so hilarious about it is they'll talk about, why are you talking about slavery? That happened over 200 years ago.
Like there's no repercussions anymore.
Well, there aren't.
And
it's over.
Also prison labor.
We had a black president. It's fine now. What are you talking about?
Exactly. And they'll be on that tip, and then they're talking about white genocide. We need to have more babies. I'm just like, shut up.
Yeah, I will never understand how some women are white supremacists. I mean, women are incubators to them. But their only value is to make white babies.
Well, and
like, have you seen Stefan Molyneux's rant about Taylor Swift?
Oh my God, so gross.
That's so funny and ridiculous. He even at her on Twitter. Like she gives a shit what the fucking pedo thinks about their eggs.
Ugh. And Nazi pedo.
I'm sorry, that's all I had to say. Sorry,
I can't believe Taylor Swift is about to turn 30. She still looks so young. It's strange to think that 90% of her eggs are already gone. 97% by the time she turns 40. So I hope she thinks about having kids before it's too late. She'd be a fun mom.
Look at his response. Look at his he responded
his ratio, you mean?
On tweet.
Oh.
No. Look at the tweet he made in response to his own tweet.
Let's see. I see several. A link to for women who want kids, the sooner the better, from ABC News.
No, it's
Hong
something.
Kong fight for free. Oh no, I see.
Bitching because she said women are more than just uteruses or something, and that's why he at her. That's so ridiculous.
His replies are full of wonderful people.
Well,
I was going to say, it's not surprising.
A lot of people calling him out, basically, is what I'm seeing. But
yeah.
Well, and I wonder if people like him are going to get their comeuppance very soon, because
no, he's going to die before that.
Wait.
He's old.
Wait. What about? Because I mean, I look at people like
he's old.
Milo Yiannopoulos. Where is he now? He's bankrupt.
Yeah, but he was gay, so.
Wait a second.
He made the mistake of being a threat to white children.
He's gay. He's still gay. I don't know why I said he was. He's not dead.
What? Katie Hopkins, one of the biggest,
she
vilest
still exists.
pieces. Yes, and she's going bankrupt as well.
Because good, fucking bitch. I'm sorry. I hate her.
Well, and see, that's the thing. That's
I'm
what
apologizing for the bitch, not for hating her.
Ultimately, these people do not understand that their grift is something that is temporary,
very conditional.
Yeah, but that's usually people who are from minorities themselves, women, gay people,
blacks.
Like Candace Owen, I have no illusion she's going to fall.
First time she makes a mistake, they're going to throw her out. Yeah.
But Stefan Molyneux, I don't think so. He's a white guy. He's a cult leader, basically, and his little Nazi stands are not going to let him go.
Yeah. The only way is to basically be a threat to white men.
But he's
or
going
white boys.
to die alone, and no one wants to fuck him, so that's good.
That's true.
The
no,
little
I'm
thing
just
I
going through
rejoice in life, imagining that kind of guy dying alone. No one loves them. No one loves them. I swear.
Except Richard Spencer. They'll have a baby, maybe like a love child. I don't know.
I don't know about that. Didn't she left him?
No. I know. I said Richard Spencer and Stephen Molyneux.
Oh, okay. Got you.
They can love on each other since
Yeah.
I mean they're like
They're both white.
fingers.
I don't think they are capable of love even for each other.
Maybe Tommy Robinson then?
No, David, I don't think Boris and Trump are the ones to worry about.
It's
Actually.
white people generally, and then
they're just symptoms. They didn't happen out of nothing. People put them there.
Yep.
And the problem
the great
is
man view
why
of history is wrong.
they are here.
Well, when the people that write the history are the white people, then
the white dudes,
the white bros. When they refer to black people as the Southern workforce, that literally was in a Texas school book. They were the Southern workforce.
To say slaves.
Yes.
Oh my God! No. Even in France, we're not as bad on the euphemism for colonialism.
It's literally.
I mean, we don't say that we committed genocide in Algeria, for example, but we don't say we were nice to them. Well, not in the history books anyway. Some politicians say that, but.
Well, that's something else living over here that's kind of weird to see. Knowing some of my Indian friends that have come over and how that manifests, because basically
they lived under British colonialism, did they?
Yeah, and so it's ironic in a lot of ways because like one of my friends she looks very Asian. She is from Hong Kong. She was told on a bus to move because people like here were lucky that they were here. And I was just like, I know she didn't say this, but I wish I could have been there for her because I wanted to say to that woman, well, if your country hadn't colonized where she's from, then maybe you could say that, but she deserves to be here because she's a British citizen. Go fuck yourself.
But
you
even
racist bitch.
I mean, it's the same problem, quote unquote, in France. All those people who are bitching about the foreigners and stuff. Most of the people who are from African ancestry in France are from countries we colonized. And they came when they were part of the country mostly.
Mm-hmm.
Or in the 60s, a lot of North African came because we needed cheap labor. It was just after decolonization, and they came because we brought them here. So, fuck you, white people. Shut up. We did that. Yep. So
similar situation in the U.S. today. We create those refugees, and then we don't let them in. Or we let them in and then steal their children.
Oh God.
Well, that's what I think is freaking hilarious. The U.S. won't let any Syrian refugees in, but they'll go over there and fucking fight.
Mm-hmm.
We'll
murder brown people. We will not help brown people.
Yep. Although, on a side note, I do think it's actually hilarious. I think it was in South Carolina where they're trying to pass this really bad abortion bill that basically.
The ectopic pregnancy bill.
Yeah, and
No, that's Ohio.
God. How much can you fuck up at knowing biology?
but get this. There's a legislator, I believe it's South Carolina, but basically they're coming up with this bill that
It's Ohio,
if
but yeah.
these. Well, hold on.
No, unless it's a
This
new one.
bill, basically, it's what is it? Government accountability. So basically, if the government forces these women to have children, then the government is liable to pay for their health care, their education, and like on down the line.
Lol, no.
And to me, that is just genius. If you're saying that this baby or this fetus or this egg is a human being,
Yeah, because that's just
you're
the
gonna force
eggs
it
at
to be
this
born.
point.
If you're going to force it to be born against the will of the mother, then you ought to be responsible for it as the state. And this legislator is trying to get that passed, and I just think it's brilliant because it just exposes the hypocrisy of it all. They don't give a fuck about children at all. They don't give a fuck.
No, they don't.
You know, it's about policing women's bodies.
I mean, they put them in concentration camps if that
Unless they're white.
Yeah.
If they're white, they'll adopt them out to good white Christian families. Or Asian. They'll adopt Asian children too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's because racism too. Because
Oh yeah,
they
absolutely.
they think Asians are more intelligent or something. Which is fucking weird.
Well, the guy, yeah.
Why
what's
do
the guy for the bell curve?
The bell curve, yeah.
Charles
Have
Murray.
you seen? Have you watched Sean 2 hours and a half video about that? It's brilliant.
Oh yeah, took him the fuck apart.
And it doesn't feel like 2 hours and a half. It's Sean is one of the good ones. I like
an acceptable bread tuber.
Oh, and
well, he's an actual anarchist, I think. So
who's what's her name? Nice Mangoes.
Enya.
Oh,
Enya.
Enya. She has a fantastic, like, takedown of Sam Harris. It is just fantastic. She literally just dissects the fuck out of him in the logic bro kind of way.
Yeah, she's cool.
Yep.
And again, that's funny because the best leftist YouTubers are the ones who aren't always on about how they're big leftist YouTubers, you know. They just make their videos and podcasts, because I think Nice Mangoes only does a podcast, doesn't she?
Yeah.
She just does the podcast.
And
what do you guys think of Thought Slime?
Julie hates him.
No, I don't hate him, but I used to like him until I learned he was still friends with Peter Coffin. And when I told Garrett about that, Garrett he was very friend with him. So he went to talk to him, and apparently the excuses he made for being friends with Coffin was on the line of, we don't know who's telling the truth, so fuck him.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding you.
He was one of those people that was the I'm not a police officer.
Yeah. So I used to love his videos and all that, and he never publicly defended Coffin, so that's to his credit. But he's still friend with him, and is still defending him. So fuck him, yeah, and fuck you with your Chomsky, David. We need young blood, for fuck's sake.
No country for old men.
Yeah, no, for real, I'm so fucking fed up with old dudes. Oh,
Except Tom.
yeah, but Tom is nice. Tom is an exception, and my friend Randy is an exception too.
I have to be honest with you, though. There are people that I do miss. Howard Zinn being one of them.
I have no
The
idea.
name
who that
sounds
is.
so familiar.
Oh, is that the guy who wrote that book?
The People's History of the United States.
Yeah,
Basically.
that was really specific. Sorry, that guy who wrote that book. He died last year, didn't he?
No, he died in
2008.
2010.
No.
Oh, okay. So
Was
that's
it?
No, that was his spouse who died in 2008. I'm looking on his Wikipedia page right now. He died in 2010. You were right.
Yeah.
He's not the one I was thinking about.
Oh, that is such a good title. You can't be neutral on a moving train.
Oh, that is a brilliant piece too.
Mm-hmm.
You should listen to that if you can. There's
I'm
actually
not saying there were good old men. I mean, I miss Terry Pratchett, but
he wasn't old. He was in his 50s.
No. He was older than that. But
you know what though?
In general, I wish
60s.
Do you think you can have heroes that are non-problematic? Because
No.
I often think that that's impossible.
No, I don't think so. So I tend to not have heroes.
Did I ever tell you you're my hero?
Who are you talking to?
You are the wind beneath my wings.
Is that a song?
Yes, it's a song.
Everything I wish I could be.
I need a hero. Na, 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 na.
That's a different song, not Heroes.
Yeah, but that's the one I know. I like
Bonnie Tyler, I think.
Yeah,
yes.
I like Bonnie Tyler. And I'm absolutely shameless about that. I really like Bonnie Tyler. But no, I don't think no one's perfect.
Yeah.
And I'm really saying that
no heroes, just friends.
Everyone is going to fuck up, but I think you are allowed to have people you look up to, even if they fucked up in some way or another. I don't know. Concerning Pratchett, I don't know that he fucked up ever. But if
where
one day
are the lines, though?
I learned that if
it's more about being willing to learn and apologize.
Yeah, I think if they're genuinely sorry about it. Like, I love Lovecraft because he ended up realizing he was full of shit with his racism, and he said so. And I respect that. So he's not a hero, but is someone I look up to as an author, and I don't think he's an asshole because he ended up realizing and saying he fucked up, and I think it's all we can ask of people, really.
Yeah, I think you kind of hit the nail on the head. I think it's owning up to when you fuck up. You know? It's not sitting there saying, "Oh, I'm not a policeman." It's saying, "I'm sorry. I didn't know this person was awful, and now that I know that they're awful, I'm going to remove them from my moderation team or whatever." And then end the story instead of making excuses.
Yeah, that's not difficult. Well, I don't think it's difficult, but apparently it is.
Well, I think when you're playing to an audience and you don't give a shit about anything other than metrics and eyeballs, I think that you can't be seen to. I mean, when it comes to like, that's what I was getting at with like Katie Hopkins or Milo, is they keep having to go further and further along in this. And Katie Hopkins, basically, what she did was she libeled Jack Monroe Jack Monroe's a non-binary person in the media who is like a Guardian contributor, blah blah blah, but basically libeled her, and she took her to court and she won. And she said to Kay Hoppins, "Look, you pay £5,000 into this charity, and I'll drop the entire case." Well,
And Katie Hopkins did not.
Nope. So she said, "Okay."
Katie Hopkins is a moron. Of course, she did not. That woman is mean and dumb. It's the worst combination in the world.
So now she's having to move out of her multi-100,000-pound house.
Good.
I think.
Good. I think she dies of polio somewhere. I hate that fucking woman. I'm sorry. I don't really
all
wish
good people do.
She dies, but of polio anyways.
But to be honest with you,
we're in Europe. I'm pretty sure she vaccinated anyway.
Well, I
have to pee. I'll be right back.
I think even those people are a symptom.
Who, the anti-vaxxers, you mean?
Well, no.
Like
people like Katie Hopkins are symptoms of, because they get popular based on their racism, basically.
Oh, I know, but she's still a very bad person, and and I don't like her.
By the way, I can hear John peeing, which is hilarious. I don't think I've ever heard him piss before. Apparently his mic is in a different place now, because
I don't know,
because we can hear him tinkle, which is actually hilarious.
We have to tell him that when he can come back. No, but yeah, the world is fucked, and all the politicians that suck are a symptom of that. I think we elect people against our own self-interest. It's amazing.
And that's where the world is, in the toilet.
Yeah, the flushing is making it all amazing. John,
just be aware that the audience couldn't hear it. I turned off the one microphone.
Yeah, we heard everything.
Yeah, I know. I could hear you. I still had my headphones on, but I was busy. There wasn't much I could do.
The flushing was just amazing, though. The timing and all that was perfect.
I was going to say, it's unfortunate that the audience didn't hear that, because it literally was a sound effect for our conversation. Because we were talking about how the world was going in the toilet, and literally we had a toilet going on in the background.
Oh, you cut the audience mic. You suck.
Oh, I cut my mic. They could still hear you.
Yeah, but they couldn't hear you pee and...
No, I was trying to be a responsible podcaster / YouTuber.
Yeah.
Except to the people that are on with you.
Since when is responsibility our thing, though?
Never. Absolutely not.
Why do you have a safety pin tattooed on your arm?
That's from right after the election.
Oh, there was a thing with a safety pin. I remember. Okay.
And so a year or so later, I decided I still wanted it and got the tattoo.
Okay. I get it.
It's important to have tattoos that mean things to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And occasionally my students ask me about it, and I say, I'm not going to tell you. And then they immediately hop on their phones and Google it and find out about it.
Bitch tattoos are bad.
Bitch tattoos or witch tattoos?
Bitch. Like, go to the beach to show your tattoos. Having tattoos just
beach tattoos.
So you, yes.
Okay. I thought you were saying bitch tattoos.
I'm sorry, I don't know the nuances of your fucking language. For me, those two words are pronounced exactly the same.
Yes.
I know one of them is supposed to be a slightly longer E. Is that it? The beach?
Beach, yes, versus bitch, which is an
the
I.
one with the water is the longer one.
Yes.
Think of it as itch. Itch
Versus each.
Yeah, but I pronounce those two words the same.
Mm.
There's no. That's something
you eat your ass.
That's something that doesn't exist in my language, if that makes sense.
Yeah, they don't have the I sound, I guess.
What is that? Is that Fringlish?
No, it's just bad pronunciation.
It's just they don't have that phoneme.
Leto?
No, because I know it exists, but it's like when I was younger, I had troubles with the th, and I said
I have troubles with the fa as well.
I often said I'm thinking instead of thinking. I'm thinking, and that made my English-speaking friends loathe a lot. The first time we talked, they didn't understand what I was trying to say. That's how funny it was.
Yep. A lot of non-English speakers have trouble with the th.
Yeah, that's a strange sound.
Mm-hmm.
It requires a lot of effort, physical effort to make when you're not used to it. But I guess...
Well, I have so much respect for you because I've tried to learn different languages, and for the life of me, I can't. I used to get so pissed off.
English is easy.
I used to get
in my
pissed
opinion,
off, though. I used to get so mad at people
that
wouldn't speak good English, and I'm like, you know what, you fuckface, you don't speak another language, and these people you can understand.
Yeah,
they're doing amazing things. Shut up and respect them. It was kind of a something that dawned on me. Anybody that can speak two or more languages.
What are you saying?
Amazing.
Did you say you actually evolved? Oh my God, you changed your mind? When you realized you were wrong. Oh my God.
Well, she's white, but she's not a man.
Myself.
Come on.
I canceled myself.
No, but yeah, the English, I find English easy. And that's probably because we listen to music in English, movies. Like I said, American cultural hegemony is a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's easy to learn a language when you hear it every day. Literally every day. Also grammatically.
I see that over here.
Grammatically, it's easy compared to mine. I mean, and I'm not even German. I don't know. I think English is an easy language to learn, but now I still have vocabulary issues sometimes, and I rely on a technique that's hit and miss, which is taking a French word and trying to make it sound English. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't
You
work.
recently fucked up with talking about non-consensual art.
Yeah, I fucked up that one. But in French, consensuel...
What did you call it? Fart?
No. She was talking about how she likes art that... She doesn't like art that is popular based on consensus. So she was talking about how she likes non-consensual art.
Because in French, the word consensuel means by consensus. It doesn't mean at all the same thing as consensual.
By consent.
Consensual.
Consensus versus consent. So very radically different.
Yeah. So I wrote that, and everyone in the conversation was very confused. Well, Jamie lost her shit.
It was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it was funny.
Well, it is funny, but like I said...
I said that art shouldn't be consensual. By that, I meant that art shouldn't please everyone. But yeah, that was funny. So that's what I do when I'm not sure about a word. I make it up, and sometimes it works.
Sometimes it works. Sometimes it really doesn't.
It doesn't work at all.
But you have these fuckers in America and in here in the UK that will demonize people that don't speak English.
Oh, believe
In
me,
a
we
good-
have those
well.
in France too. Oh my god.
I think
it's
it's
a
so
white thing.
disrespectful.
Mm-hmm.
I think every single Western country has those people.
Yep.
Except at least in other countries than England and America, they're kind of more have a point because they actually can talk another language. Which is not really true because in France, for example, it's mostly old people who bitch about that and they can't talk another language for shit. Well, that depends if they are
Except
white.
for the ones who learned how to speak German.
No, I'm talking about the white Algerians who actually know how to talk Arabic, but who are fucking racist because they were kicked out of the country when it decolonized. And they didn't like that. So, yeah. I don't think a lot of old people know how to speak German.
Oh, I was making jokes about a lot of old French collaborators.
No, I know, but
that's who I'm assuming would be complaining about that sort of shit.
Even them, I don't think they know how to speak German. German is a difficult language to learn.
It's so fucking tough. I have so much trouble with it.
I'd really want to learn it, but honestly, at my age, with my medication, no way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even feeling up to go back to Spanish, even though I already know it, and I just need a refresher. Because
Spanish is so much easier, like ridiculously easy.
Everything with that fucking medication, which is a good trade-off for the lowering in pain. As if now I'm still in pain, but I don't want to kill myself anymore, so that's good. But
you just don't remember the pain.
No, I do. But I forget.
You haven't got time for the pain?
Appointments? Oh, I have time for pain. That
was a song, but
I don't have your culture, I'm afraid. What's that song?
I haven't got time for the pain.
Yeah.
I think it's Carly Simon.
I don't even know who that is. Is that some kind of country thing?
No, Carly Simon. No, that's
she was pop.
Mid-80s pop.
If it's country, we don't know anything apart from Johnny Cash in Europe.
No. Carly Simon, haven't got time.
And Blake Sheldon, because I watched The Voice.
Oh, Dad Bod of the Year.
Oh, Jesus.
He's funny, though. I like him.
Oh, God, I cannot stand that culture. I cannot stand anything that is related to, like, the Kardashians or kind of like reality TV, just so manufactured.
Oh, I don't care about all that. I'm just there for the good singers. I'm just here for listening to the people. I usually end up stopping watching after the blind auditions. I just want to listen to good singers that wouldn't be known if it weren't for those kind of shows, you know. Well, that show, I only like that show because they're nice to people. They're not there to tell them a new one like Idol or stuff like that.
They're not dicks.
Yeah, they're even those that I don't like are usually nice to people. Like what's his name? Maroon 5 guy. No, the Maroon 5 guy. I can't stand him.
Oh,
Adam Levine.
Adam.
Oh, yeah. God, he's such an ass. I really don't like him. But he's very nice to people. I can't fault him on that. So it's not. I don't know. a feel-good moment for me. That and Queer Eye. That's the two shit I watch. The two reality TV thing I watch.
Until Queer Eye go all pro-fascist talking about how great Hitler's suits are.
What?
Isn't that why you canceled Christie? Because she was not upset about the Queer Eye? No, Reagan, not Hitler.
No, it's
Reagan is kind of like Hitler, so.
But the genesis of it was Queer.
It's a NB man who is who has AIDS, okay, who is seropositive, who was making a gallows joke. I'm okay with that, even if I don't agree. I'm not seropositive. It's not my place to say it doesn't have the right to make that kind of joke. The fact that Christie thought it was a good way to own Gwen on Bernie Sanders or something, that's what pissed me off. She didn't come at it at the angle of the harmed party by Reagan. She's privileged. It's something she should know by now. She's not a debutante, a beginner.
Well, she has huge blind spots.
I know, but
huge.
Bernie
white
is
liberal.
one of them. I mean, I know Gwen is fucked up and all that, but she was right on that point, and Christie fucked up, and she doesn't want to admit it, and I'm over it. I mean, that was the last straw, and that's you don't. I don't know. That pissed me off.
Mine was
really
way
bad.
Before that, but to be honest with you, the stuff with Jonathan really did piss me off.
Oh yeah,
more than anything.
But that was after I got mad at her. But
that was just an incredibly because Jonathan has really been.
Anyone that comes at Jonathan anyways deserve all my scorn. Jonathan is the nicest person I know.
Yeah, he is, and he didn't deserve that at all. And
the guy is thinking about taking a second job to help his poor friends. I mean, fuck people who think they can go after him. I don't care.
Well,
I don't care who you are. You don't fuck with Jonathan.
Because of how much stuff he did for her, as far as from her channel. I mean, he literally, when he's in your channel, he's fucking looking stuff up and posting stuff for people, and he literally becomes like a portion of the show.
He does that with Steve too, and it's how he is. He's a nice person, a genuinely nice person.
But Steve appreciates it. Steve actually shows him respect.
Yes.
Even if he doesn't agree with him politically, he
but
shows him respect.
Steve is a good start. Is a good start.
I just think what
Steve's
you were saying earlier. Yeah. Well, I think he's I think he definitely could be pushed, and it's funny because I do see some leftist tendencies in his characters on Stephen and Stuffy.
Oh yeah. The thing is, with Steve, I think he has a lot.
Is an anarchist.
His close friends are mostly liberals.
I mean,
when you see his conversation with Christopher on his Pierre the Chef show, I stopped watching it because it's liberal land.
Well, yeah. I mean, the thing is, though, there's a crossover at some point when you realize, because I was in there. I mean, fuck, I was in Democratic Party politics for a long time, and it took me seeing the hypocrisy in the Obama campaign and hypocrisy in the Democratic Party when it comes to people like Nancy Pelosi. And that's what I was saying earlier. Like from 2008 to 2010, Democrats had power, and the people that fucked over Obamacare weren't Republicans; they were Democrats, like Joe Lieberman and Bill
the fucker
Nelson
from West Virginia.
Actually, yeah, there was a guy from West Virginia. I forget his name, but there was also Bill Nelson, who was, I believe, from Montana, and they're essentially right-wing Democrats.
Well,
conservative
further
Democrats,
right.
and they basically destroyed any kind of progressive. I mean, because if it weren't for those folks, there would have been a public option. So, when it comes to that type of stuff, I'm just like, at the end of the day, it's a matter of having people on your team that actually are leftist and not liberal. But you got to get those people from the Bill Nelsons to the AOCs. You know, you've got to get people. You can't. Someone's not gonna just decide tomorrow to go read Peter Kropotkin. You know, very few people are going to do that.
Well, they will come the revolution because we'll force them.
The Bread book is a fucking good book, even though it's written by an old guy.
White guy.
But at the same time, though, how are you going to get somebody to read that?
Anarchist Santa.
And that's the thing, though. When you say anarchist, for someone that's in that situation, I know because I was.
I know.
They don't know what anarchist
the
means.
Purge and stuff like that.
They imagine chaos.
I know that you're going to hate me for this, but the reason that I am an anarchist is because of Noam Chomsky.
I don't hate you for that. Noam Chomsky is the reason a lot of people are anarchists.
He got me to the point.
I just wish people would read someone else's. He's all like, David Graeber. Read fucking David Graeber. He's like 40 years old younger. He's more current, is what I mean. I have nothing against fucking Chomsky. Read Chomsky.
Yeah, but you don't.
But he's old. Remember that he's old. Okay.
He's still all about Vietnam.
Well, but you don't. But here's the thing: you need crossover, and Chomsky is on Democracy Now. He's in these leftist spaces.
I know. He talked to liberals. I know.
And he's in liberal spaces, so there's some crossover.
That being said, David Graeber too. That's why I use him as an example.
Has he been on Democracy Now?
No, I don't think so. He's not as famous as Noam Chomsky.
Nowhere near it.
Well, see, and this is the thing. This is what I'm saying. For me, I kept hearing Chomsky, and I kept going, "This guy's right." And the more I listened to him, the more I was like, holy shit, this guy knows what he's talking about.
Yeah. I'm
going to investigate what he's talking about.
Well,
and then
the guy is smart as fuck, so yeah.
But literally, like...
Oh, don't start again, fucking David. Oh!
Fuck off, Skag.
Yeah, shut up. Sorry, Matty.
What's...
David Skag is
he's trolling in the chat.
In the chat.
I just wonder how you get from how you kind of need a crossover. You need someone to hold Steve by the hand and show him the way to the promised land.
Well,
where everyone works
with Steve, I think Graeber would be more effective than Chomsky. Actually, give him a depth to read.
Yeah, give him the Bread book.
Nah, the Bread book is too... We need something, like I said,
A little bit
it's
more
good
contemporary.
book, but yeah, I think the Bread book is
Well,
good
that's
to
what-
read when you are already in it. It's not
Yeah.
a 101 book.
Hmm.
I found Kropotkin was very hard to read.
Oh, really?
Being as early on in my
Oh, okay.
coming
Leftism.
from coming from a liberal perspective, it was
On the content, not the form, you mean? Because I think his writing is pretty accessible, actually, which is why I like him as
I think the further left you
theoretician.
go, the harder it becomes.
No, I know. That's why I would never, ever tell someone to read Das Kapital or something like that. It's just torture at this point. But
it reminded me a lot of the stuff reminds me of when I was in 11th grade English, and we would have to take Romeo and Juliet or some Shakespeare play and literally chop it up into pieces and analyze every single bit because it was in a language that I didn't understand. And
Old English is not English. Yeah.
Well, it's 1500s.
Yeah. No, I know.
British
I've seen Shakespeare in the original, and I said fuck it. Even though I'm fluent in English, I'm not fucking with that. No.
You're fluent in English, not late Middle English or early modern English.
And it's understanding the context of it, and you really need. That's my biggest thing with anarchist books. I've listened to a lot of because there's a lot of free anarchist books.
Audible anarchists on YouTube, babes.
Yeah, and I've listened to a lot of that stuff, but again, a lot of it is in the
yeah, it's dry. It's theory. It's very dry.
It's theory, and it's theory that is steeped. You have to have an introduction to that to understand.
Which is why I like David Graeber, because he's young, he's cool, and he's fun, and he makes conference.
Cool.
Yeah, he's cool.
Well, being cool is probably the most important part.
He's so cool.
It's all about being popular.
He makes conferences to talk about his books and answer questions. I don't know. And again, Chomsky is great for talking to liberals. I agree. But I'm not a liberal, so and I was radicalized pretty young.
Well, and that's something that you really
and not by
have to
Chomsky.
understand.
So no, but I understand.
You were raised by a Trotskyite. Come on,
yeah.
Be fair.
I was.
Well, and that's so much of it. That's so much of it because you don't realize. Well, I didn't as an American. I didn't realize how indoctrinated that I was.
No, I talk shit about Chomsky here on the show because it's funny. I for real, I don't hate him. I think what he does is very important. I just don't care personally for him, but that's just me. And again, I think the problem I have with being on this platform, as little as it is that when I give my shit opinion, people think I'm trying
posting opinion
to convert them, and I'm not. I think people.
Listen, there's
some
in
points.
Your own way.
Yeah, there's some points where I am pretty much not, let's say, subtle about what I think about like people who like Peter Coffin, for example. But if
really?
I'm not telling you you're shit for liking this person, I don't think you're shit for liking this person. Just because I do not care for them or don't like them doesn't mean people have to do the same as me. I'm not here to transform people into me. Ew. No.
But
But
we can stand a few more
I-
Julies out there.
but I speak my mind, and I'm not very subtle or gentle about it because that's not me. That's all.
Yeah,
But
but you do it in a very funny, amusing way.
I hope
It's not
so.
like-
That's the aim. I'm trying to be funny too. That's why I like to exaggerate who I am. Like with the manga stuff, John, the anime stuff. I was
what?
just
Do you mean if
I was
do you
just
mean if
trying
we
to
hang
piss
out in-
Jamie off, but no, because
if I come to Lyon, I am not going to get this level of Julie?
yes, you are going to.
And she'll hit you with her cane.
No, I don't do that.
Well, that's unfortunate.
That happened literally twice in my life. I actually hit people in the subway with my cane, but that was twice, and they deserved it. Okay.
Well,
They were ignoring my "I'm sorry, I need to sit. I'm sorry, I need to sit." So
Smack.
they took a beating in the calves, which
and good for them.
the calves isn't the most painful part. I could have hit them on the tibias, on the on the front of the legs. I didn't.
Their kneecaps.
Yeah, no.
Well, is Jonathan washing his hair tonight?
I don't know where he is.
I hate old people. David. You got me all figured out.
Do you hate Tom?
Jonathan said he wasn't going to be here this week, but I can't remember why.
He had an IRL thing, but I don't.
Was it a union
why.
thing?
It wasn't a con. It wasn't a whip thing. It was a politics thing. I don't remember what. He will tell us
It wasn't a
next week.
tentacle porn convention?
No, that had nothing to do with that. Sadly.
I'm scrolling back to try and find it, but there's all this pretentious art talk between...
You want to come to France by bike? Oh, motorbike. I mean, maybe you're fit for the Tour de France. I don't know. I don't know why I said that with an English accent. I feel compelled to say words in my own language with an English accent when I talk to you. That's weird. Like when
what?
Like Macron, I want to call him Macron.
It's so funny that you say that because I sit in my apartment and I just love, here we call it flat, but I love saying Macron.
You can call him cunt too. It works.
See, isn't a macaroon a fluffy white biscuit with no real substance to it?
No, because at least they're sweet.
I'm just looking for some way to make fun of him based on his name.
I was going to say, actually, a biscuit would be what you would call a cookie.
Yeah.
Yes, that's why
I don't get why you're calling what you.
Well, I'm talking to somebody living in the UK and a French person, so it seemed more appropriate.
Because they're not cooked twice. So why do you call them biscuits?
They're half-baked.
David Skog says, you're just bitter. You beat Foucault in that debate. Yeah, I have to say, I like Foucault. I mean,
I do too.
Find me someone who is cooler than Foucault.
Kropotkin.
Yes, but Kropotkin was a prince who abandoned all his privileges to become an anarchist and gave everything he had to poor people, and he looks like Santa. How can you be cooler than that? It doesn't count. It's up there.
That is true. He does look like Santa.
It does, like shit.
Well, it was funny. What struck me was that what was hilarious about Kropotkin was, like, in the first couple chapters, he talked about his dad, and
Yeah.
that really stuck with me, because I think there are certain kinds of people that some people look at their parents and say, "This is who I don't want to be," and that was what he was. His father was in the military and was, like, really kind of a suck up. And
Yeah, and he was royalty. That's
aristocracy, but yeah.
He really hated the aristocrat thing.
But so much of that, I think, comes out of your relationships that you have with your parents. And because I often wonder if his father would have been more kind of attentive towards him if he would have seen him in a different light, and that would have drastically changed who he was as a person in the direction of his life.
I don't know.
I don't know. My parents are both great to me, but they're both conservative as hell, and I'm an anarchist.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, but that had an effect on the trajectory of your life.
I think he would have hated the aristocratic part, nonetheless, because that was something independent from his relationship to his father.
But what I'm saying is, I think it gets you down the road a lot quicker.
Oh, true, yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Because that's not something we'll ever know, will we?
Yeah, if his dad had been nice, maybe he just would have ended up a liberal.
I started out as a cis white het male Republican in Indiana that was headed for the seminary when I had a crisis and transitioned. So
I have a question about that, if you don't mind. If you don't want to answer it, sure. You're welcome. Okay.
Sure, as long as it doesn't have anything to do with my genitals.
No, I don't give a shit about that, really. No, but I have observed that a lot of trans women your age refer to themselves as formerly male. But the younger ones don't at all. They say they have always been women, even if they transitioned later. You know what I mean? And I was just wondering, what do you think about that divide?
I think that you have to think about it in terms of privilege and how you're perceived. I won't ever say that I don't think of myself as being a cis male, even back then, but I was appearing as. I was, that was...
Oh, okay. You were living as.
Yes.
Okay.
I was perceived as, and I had privilege because of that.
Yeah, but passing privilege is not the same, but...
Well, and that's the thing. When it comes to how you process your own privilege is different as a trans person, because you don't take advantage of those things because you despise them. I mean, literally, when I would when I was younger, I'd go into a locker room. I didn't like rib the guys in the side and tell jokes about the pussy that I was getting on the weekend. That to me, I felt like was something that I was an interloper to.
I mean, a lot of cis guys don't do that too, but that's beside the point. I get what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I hate to say this, but a lot do. And,
yeah, I know. I know.
And a lot do it because of pressure and so on. Yeah.
Toxic masculinity is so fun.
Toxic masculinity is.
I can't believe you would call men toxic. That's so misandrist.
But I was mostly wondering what you thought about the divide in generations. Not ask you to justify why you didn't. You feel like felt. That's the way you felt.
But I think I think that
I
does
just
matter, though.
I just really observed that there is like a divide between generations, like millennial trans women and Gen X trans women and boomers, but boomers are a whole lot sack
I
of
think you have to look at it from the perspective of, um, especially from. I mean, you have trans men. God bless them. I am so proud of
David.
and I don't even.
Sorry, David just wrote something in the chat. This makes my testicles shrink, he says. I mean, David,
That's what
fuck
French
you.
do to
I
cats.
live to make his testicle shrink. So
Makes it easier to tuck.
exactly.
I think with the delay, I think he's talking about the talk about toxic masculinity.
Probably. But I think when it comes to trans women, I think a lot of it has to do with when you transitioned. And I mean, because a lot of people don't. My son, for Christmas, one of the gifts he bought me was this shirt that said, it had a picture of Darth Vader, and it said Hoosier, as in,
Indiana.
someone from Indiana, Hoosier, and then it said Daddy. So it says Hoosier Daddy, and it has a picture of Darth Vader.
Okay.
Now you, Leto, you may not get that reference.
I absolutely not. I think it's very American culturally.
So Hoosier is what we call somebody from Indiana.
Oh, okay.
So
how do you spell it?
I'm putting it in the chat right now.
HOSEIR.
Oh, almost like the singer. Take me to church. No, 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 no. There's just one O in his name, but that's spelled the same. Anyways.
So basically, what it's a play on words of
okay. So
there's
that word and daddy.
Yeah. So who is your daddy?
Yeah.
So
Who's
it
your
sounds
daddy?
like who is your daddy?
Yeah, it's
and
a
the
pun.
fact,
okay.
Yes, and the fact that he gave it to me, being trans, is even another layer of, because he does call me dad, but my sister, who I've only known a couple of years because my mom lied about who my dad was.
Yeah, I remember when you met her. That's amazing. Anyways,
yeah, it's a long story, but it's magical in some ways. But she was asking about that, about calling me dad, and it's like he's like, well, I've learned over time that I don't run up in the store and say, dad, look at this. But he knew me from the time he was born to the age 12 when I transitioned.
Dad,
I was dad. And to me, that is his right as my child. Because I decided to transition, that isn't something that he should have to change how he's interfacing with me because of a choice that I made.
I don't know about that, but if you're okay with it, it's not my who cares what I think about that?
Is I don't base my identity on my children.
Yeah, I mean, he knows you're a woman, right? Regardless of how he calls you.
Let me put it to you this way: when he introduced me to his choir teacher, he said, "This is my dad. She's awesome."
Okay, I like that.
And that is fucking
so in
right
his head, dad isn't gendered male. It's
a name,
neutral or feminine. Yeah, it's a name.
It's something that he identifies me as.
Yeah, that's
something
I like
he genders me as. So, and kids his age, that's why I'm so when he went to him a year ago. Around, was it around? No, it was
How
almost
old
2
is
years
he
ago
now?
now. He's going to be 30 in June.
Oh God, he's old.
Wow.
Yeah, and
We should invite him on the podcast.
Says the 40-year-old woman.
well, the amazing
He's
thing
older than
is,
Jamie.
like, when we
Jamie
went
is a
to,
baby.
yeah, she is. When we went to Amsterdam.
Oh, I remember the anecdotes. You told Jonathan and I a lot about that trip.
Yeah, well, I did get a little bit stoned.
Yeah.
But who doesn't go to Amsterdam and not get stoned? I just got more
do
stoned than
because
most.
I don't smoke, but that
Yeah,
being said, I don't go to
didn't
Amsterdam, but
I didn't smoke for probably 12 years, and that was my downfall.
yeah, but you were with your kid and all. That was special.
And here's the thing.
And the story you told us was so funny. Honestly, it was worth it just for the story.
Well, the thing is, when my son went, I really expected him to, because I asked him at the end of the trip, I said, what was your favorite part? And I expected him to say, oh, the coffee shops, because he smokes pot. And he was like, oh, by far it was the Anne Frank Museum. And it just stunned me, because he went from being this little party kid to being an adult. And I was just like, and now he's listening to NPR and he hates Trump. And I mean, he's literally like, you can see his
look at that proud mama.
Yes, well, exactly. Well, and seeing him metamorphize into this responsible adult that reminds me a lot of myself.
You did a good job.
Well, thanks. I'm just happy that he's in a place where he's happy and being. I've never actually. I have more admiration for him because seeing. I mean, when he was in 8th grade, when he was 12 years old, he came out to his mom and said, "I'm gay. Get over it," basically, and she kicked him out, and I took him in. And he never relented
is a
from
bitch,
that.
Honestly.
Well, both of them are. Actually, I have two. But yeah, that's a long story in and of itself.
Yeah, but that one.
No, the other one's worse. I have a.
You have terrible taste, Marty. What can I say?
Yes.
Oh, but your daughter isn't with the same woman?
No.
Oh, I thought she was. Okay.
Yeah. So I have a 22-year-old daughter that I've never. Well, I haven't seen since she was 5 because I'm trans, essentially. And the legal state that things were
I
in
know it's
back then,
fucked up.
And my mental health at the time, there was just a lot of things. But anyways, seeing my son that in that light was just amazing. It's amazing to see him today, kind of, and it makes me excited for the people of tomorrow. I do think that if
the kids are okay, are they?
The kids are going to be okay if they can make it through the onslaught of the crappy ass baby boomers.
When earlier today I went out to do some groceries, and I heard a teenage girl tell a boy, if you're gonna try to boss me around, at least try to wait until your voice has dropped.
Nice.
And I was like, yay, sister, tell him.
And with that, his testicles ascended into his abdomen and never came back down.
That was funny. So, yeah, the kids. I have.
Or maybe the kid's trans and doesn't ever want that to happen.
There you go.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I have a lot of friends who are in their 20s, and they give me hope. more than the people who are my age. I'm telling you.
See, and that's what I was saying earlier. Like when I see trans women that that transitioned in their teens, they inspire me so much because they are living their best lives. You know, they're not having to live in. I mean, I've had to settle for this body that I live in because I didn't have the choices that they have the opportunity to have. That basically stopped their body from being masculinized in a way that's hard to change.
I have one of my friends had a vaginoplasty last year, and she talks about it on Facebook since then, like to all her friends, not in lewd words, but like she's so happy because she said, "Oh, today I have to do that and that," and basically she has to masturbate for medical reasons. Yes, dilation. And she's so happy to talk about it, and I'm like, "Yeah, girlfriend, go."
Yeah,
I don't care what you do with your body, but you're so happy. Go.
And that's just it. That's just it. People are being able. Ultimately, what I want for everyone is for them to have bodily autonomy and make choices for themselves. And I wasn't allowed to be. Yeah, exactly. How dare I?
I'm a cripple, so bodily autonomy is a complicated subject, but I am really with you 100%, sister. We all deserve autonomy.
Even though we all don't have it.
We need I mean, if you put the means, we could all have it,
I agree. Well, you guys, I actually need to jump in bed.
And we've been streaming for about 3.5 hours now. So
that's a lot. Yeah, but that was cool. So
yeah, I enjoyed it.
I always enjoyed talking to you, Marty.
Well, likewise. I definitely have a Leto crush. I have to work in the morning. That's the only reason why.
Really? God, that sucks.
Yes. The Monday is a fiction.
Yeah, because you work on Sunday.
But my work day is not a fiction, even if I want it to be.
Yeah, go tell people to pull down their pants. Go on. That's amazing.
Yeah, you don't get away with that too many times.
Oh, come on, maybe they laughed, didn't they?
Well, at the time, yes, but I think if I said it now, they might not laugh.
Okay.
I might get talked to. That's all I'm saying.
Anyways, fuck off, Marty.
Fuck off to you too, both of you.
Yeah.
Actually, before you go, you want to share your channel and so on?
Oh yeah, share your podcast. It's cool.
What podcast? I don't know what you're talking about.
Shut up and do your pitch.
Well, first of all, I do the Tea Party, and to be honest with you, I don't even know what my Twitter name is, because you have to have. I mean, not Twitter, but YouTube name is, because you have to have 100 subscribers, and I have like 15 before you can change your channel URL. But if you just search for a Tea Party, I do believe
just the letter T or the word T.
It's the word T.
Do you want the link, John?
That would help.
I am actually subscribed.
By the way, I was I was really upset, John. Earlier, you said you didn't know whether we were friends on Facebook, and we are friends on Facebook. Thank you very much.
I randomly friend people. I don't know.
John is kind of an ass too, so just kind of.
Are you calling yourself a whore?
Yeah.
Okay, I can respect that. But you can also add me on Facebook, or I mean, not on Facebook. Oh God, I hate Facebook. Twitter, MartiAbernathy, and that's my Twitter account.
What the fuck is your channel name?
I searched for Tea Party.
Oh, the Tea Party. Yeah. Okay, I have you.
And you can, if you just search Marty Abernathy.
No, I have it, but I was looking for it. I don't know why. I thought it was another name.
Maybe you should just go to your subscriptions. Thank you.
That's what I was doing, but I am subscribed to a shitload of channels. So
yeah, I'm just one of many.
I found it finally.
Woohoo! So that would be
I just pasted on the chat.
You did.
Oh, and I just pasted it on Facebook in my conversation with Marty. She's going to be. Okay.
Nice.
It's in the Social Justice Alchemy too, if you need to find it later, John.
And I just put it in this video description.
Nice.
Nice. Okay. I appreciate that very much. And thank you guys for having me on the show. I long-time listener, first-time caller.
Yeah.
Yes. LTL FTC.
Thank you guys for existing and doing what you do. You know, I came to hear Jonathan and Leto and Tom because we all kind of existed in Christie's space and Steve's space, and having you guys do this, giving voice to anarchists, is to me is a vital thing that we really need to
we
have
think
more
it's
of.
important too, but you know, we don't have a lot of
mostly we just sit around and fuck off.
Yeah.
Do you know what though? To me, it's just a matter of keep doing this and keep at it.
Yeah. We're not going to stop just because we only have like 10 listeners. that's 10 that are important. So
wait, do I have 5 more than you then?
No, I don't know how many we have. But...
I was kidding because I literally on Patreon, I think I was teasing someone saying my one Patreon.
We have 3.
We have 3, and one of them is Jonathan.
You know what though? The work that you guys do is really important because there are so few accessible anarchist video casts and podcasts out there. So many of them are so dry, and so you guys are kind of a gateway, I think. I hope
so. I mean, at least we're funny.
Cupcake Tube.
Well, we actual anarchists, so we have actually a foot to say we are part of Bread Tube, and unlike those motherfuckers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's all fuck off because it's late.
So you can find Julie. She has her misandry memes and anarchist memes on Facebook.
I tried to post the link for here on anarchist memes, and I reached like 15 people, so I give up on Facebook algorithms.
And you can find Tom McDonald at Tom McDonald on Twitter. You can find Jonathan at Some Random Geek with 3s for the E's in geek.
Yeah, we're all in the description.
Yeah, well, I'm still saying it. God.
Yeah.
Or if you say if you sing "Old MacDonald Had a Farm," if you sing that 3 times in a row, Tom will magically appear
and tell you to fuck off.
I wish.
And Jamie is slightly sluggy on Twitter. As for me, in addition to doing this, I also do a D&D podcast. Heck of a lot of fun, completely different. If we get back on a regular schedule, we might start Twitch streaming again. But we didn't last week. And since it's the holidays, who knows what our schedule is going to be like. But we release every week. A lot of fun. We are the good guys. We play good party. It's fun.
Shut up.
All right. And with that, I'll go ahead.
Me.
Yes. And that I'll go ahead and I can. And now to stop the stream.